I'll edit out a little bit if we need to at the start. Right, let's do this. Fuck it. Cheers. Have everyone got a beer?
Yeah, man. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Right. I was thinking before how to start this actually, but everyone who's listened to this podcast ever, it's always been about something two-wheeled or something. No, always two-wheeled, something sort of two-wheeled. So this is going to be, for our listeners, a little bit different. I have got two of my very, very closest friends on the podcast today because we shared an experience last weekend which we thought would be kind of cool to sit and talk about because some stuff went down that we just want to sit and riff about. It's going to be a therapy session, I think, for all of us a little bit, and there's probably going to be some lessons in here about preparing for adventures and I don't know, life lessons maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So we'll just do like a really brief intro so people know who's talking. So I've got James on my left. Doesn't matter if you're listening anyway. So just say your name and stuff so people know your voice.
Hi everyone.
Oh, you've done the podcast before.
Yeah, I'm waving, which you can't see because you listen to it.
How many times have you done it? Twice.
I've been on it twice, haven't I? I think.
Twice. Once or twice. Definitely, we did the one with
at least once.
The whole Kotick team. Maybe another one.
Maybe only once.
Maybe once.
This can be twice.
This is twice. Better circumstances. And then.
Well, I'm new to this.
Yeah. First podcast, mate.
First podcast. My name's Alex, and I suppose I was kind of leading the little adventure. It was all my idea. We wanted to do it for a while.
Yeah. I guess.
And I dragged you boys into it.
Definitely dragged in.
Little did we know what was going to happen, what we're signing up for. But so it's going to be a bit of a different episode, to be honest. But I'm stoked. I'm very excited because obviously we went through some shit over the last weekend, weren't it? And it's nice to have this platform to be able to do stuff like this that people will hopefully listen to. And to be honest, even if one person or 20,000 listen to it, I'm really not that bothered because it's a nice memory for us like to have in it. So, I don't know if it's a memory or not, but yeah, certainly going to be something to look back on, and some good is going to come out of it as regards to fundraising, which we'll talk about in a bit, for some very important, what would you call them?
Heroes,
yeah, some very important people and services. That's the word, services. Very important services.
My heroes.
That definitely helped keep the dream alive last weekend. So yeah, where should we start this? Should we start at the beginning?
What were we doing?
Like every story starts at the beginning, right?
It was all inspired really from the turning 30, and we wanted to do 30 things before we turned 31.
Yeah.
And wrote a few lists.
We got close.
I remember we were talking about doing something because we were all turning 30, weren't we? We were talking about just doing something, whether it was a holiday or a holiday. What else, like an extravagant purchase, I don't know. We were talking about doing something, weren't we, to commemorate turning 30. So yeah, the idea came about of putting together bucket list. I call it a bucket list.
We got together, didn't we?
I'd say, yeah.
You round at yours?
Yeah, we went to mine. Yeah, we grabbed some beers, didn't we? And we just sort of freestyled. And I think
come up with some ideas.
I've told a few people about it, and everyone's like, "That's such a rad idea!" Like because
cool.
You know, it is. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we set 30 things to do before we turned 31. It was quite a out there challenge because it proved pretty damn hard, didn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you work it out over a year,
Yeah.
You've got to be on it all the time.
Yeah.
And
About every other weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
we have such busy lives.
That's been the main problem though, right? Like getting everyone
Yeah.
together and just being together and having time. Like James was racing, you've got a business to run. I'm doing whatever.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? It was tough, especially that first year.
Yeah,
We
you
got a few
went through
things
some
ticked
stuff
off
as well.
Yeah.
It was a lot harder than it maybe should have been, but so we ticked some stuff off. In fact, I should have turned. Hang on, let me turn my phone back on, and I'll for people listening, I'll give you a bit of a rundown of what we've been trying to achieve.
Yeah, we didn't start off too bad, did we? Really, we got a couple.
It's
of
like
things
anything,
done
right? Like
reasonably quick.
Straight out the gate.
We're like, let's go. Yeah.
Tried to do them all in about a week.
Yeah. Well, all the easy ticks.
So we came up with 30 things to do before you turn 31. We're all now 32, but we're still ticking them off. So we've got a surf weekend, which you guys did, but I missed out on.
So
Camping trip, probably I've just done that, but Run naked through a cornfield. Run a marathon in less than 24 hours. Build a large rope swing. Go to music festival. Go up Ben Nevis. Perform a strict muscle up or one arm pull up. Do a cliff dive. Build a water slide. Play knock-a-door run. Do a photo shoot. Get matching tattoos. Organise a party. Go on a spa day. God, there's a lot. Go on a shit car
30.
road trip. Yeah, 30. Go to corporation on a night out. And we have done. Yeah. We have done. We've done the Ket car down Slack Hill, which is pretty iconic in my eyes.
Yeah, that got quite a few people's attention, didn't it?
At last
Police and
count,
what
about
have you.
75,000.
Matlock police got involved.
Yeah.
About 75,000 at last count on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a few people calling for me to be, what was it? Put in jail.
Yeah.
There was put in jail. There was, I hope he gets hit by a car. There was all sorts. So if anyone wants to watch that, it's on my YouTube channel. See a band together, we've done that. Do the burrito challenge, which is a local burrito place. They do a massive challenge, which
Ended bad.
terribly.
For you guys.
Oh no, you had a good week, didn't you?
Yeah, I realised first couple of seconds that I wasn't going to complete it, so I just took mine home for the lunch the next day.
Do you remember I had that one forkful left and I just couldn't put it in my
staring
mouth?
at it.
I was just looking at it for ages. Just like, if that goes in my mouth, I am going to vomit. And true to form, vomited.
You both threw up.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Bad. Hall of shame, didn't we? Wall of shame.
Yeah, wall of shame. Yeah.
Added toilets, nailed it. Just see us there smiling.
Take mushrooms, which we did. Get more on that later. Chesterfield night out, barrel race, which we did, which is gnarly. Do the Boxing Day RAF race, which we've kept doing, which is rad. Go to the driving range. Go play bingo. Go to a rugby match. Camp in a large safety net. Sleep in a cave. Boots Folly. What's that?
That was like that
that's that
castle
that
thing,
castle
wasn't
thing.
it? Yeah.
And
That's
build a raft. So
So they vary, and there's
They
a
do
reason
vary.
they vary.
Yeah.
Like some things are easier than others.
yeah.
Like this one, what we had to do was a trip to Scotland, which
Yeah.
other things, nip into town for some food. So
Yeah.
there's a reason we varied them, weren't there?
Yeah.
Have a bit of fun, get together.
It's been so good because it's actually brought us together quite a lot. Whereas you kind of obliged to hang out with each other, unfortunately, because you've got to tick these things off. Kind of like meeting up, tick it off, get out of there. No, but it has though. It's been cool. It's brought us all together. It's been we've done some rad stuff, haven't we? And this trip was probably the biggest to take off. It's one that's like the hardest to put together, isn't it? Because
Yeah, it's taken a lot of time
yeah,
to get the boat in organisation, and I put quite a lot of time into it. Yeah.
I know you did.
Yeah.
You did. You put
Yeah,
a hell
you
of a lot
did.
of time into it. So should we start right at the beginning then with? Let's talk about what this trip actually is fundamentally. Like, what is the Caledonian? So yeah, it's called the Caledonian Canal.
Yeah, and it's half man-made and also natural formed blocks. It stretches from Fort William in Scotland right up to Inverness, and it's a total of 97 kilometres long. Yeah, and we started at Neptune Staircase.
Yep. Fort William.
And Fort William, and at first we couldn't really paddle, could we? And we just pinballed our way down, just zigzagged down.
We were awful.
We probably did 97 kilometres and we didn't finish it.
Yeah, we probably did.
Just going left to right, didn't we?
Everyone blaming one another
Yeah.
because
We were
obviously you
bad.
know how to paddle, the other person can't, clearly.
But eventually we learnt how to handle it, and we were quite good, eh? I think we could make the time.
I think we were alright.
I think the other thing
Yeah.
to mention as well with doing this was there was like a secondary reason, which was for Rob's dad.
Yeah, so originally I got the canoe from a good friend, Rob Stokes. His dad unfortunately passed away, and I took the canoe, and it needed a lot of work doing to it, as I said, and yeah, got it up to scratch, and that was our little that was our vessel
Yeah.
to
How
carry
much
us
work did
away.
you put into it? Like,
Probably
I
about
feel like I'm
40
interviewing
hours.
you, man. Just
Probably about 40 hours.
yeah, really.
No, I don't know much put into it. Not only that, you're all. which we can have a nice look at here. This
Brought it
beautiful
here. You
piece
built
of...
Oh
an
yeah,
oar.
so I made an oar out of plywood, a lovely piece of ash, and some other stuff.
Someone else might have to work this.
So
carefully
when
as
you
well.
picked the canoe up, like, because I never saw it. Oh no, I did see it up at Allison's, but it was already like half done. In
Yeah.
fact, it was like 3/4 done,
Yeah.
probably more. So what sort of state was it in when you picked it up? Because again, I think I've
Well-
overlooked how much effort you put into this.
Well, we had a little test ride, didn't we, down Cheswick Canal?
Yeah,
So
we
we
took
thought
it
it'd be
down.
similar.
And it was okay. It floated, but there was a lot of dry rot in the woodwork.
around the
So
edges.
yeah, around the edges and the seats and stuff. So a lot of that had to be replaced, and it just took time. There were a few cracks in the fiberglass that needed to be filled in and sanded down, just repainting. And I also just took a lot of pride in it and wanted to make it look pretty. And I think it was a pretty boat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
It looked good.
It looked super sick. Got the stickers
Yeah.
on it as well. Got Tanky
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
got
which is
Tanky.
Rob's dad's nickname. Pretty much how we all, the name we all knew him by. And that's like, it's one of the major things I enjoyed about like the planning and stuff of going and doing it. It was a bit of an omen to Rob's dad and taking their family
Yeah, man.
canoe on a bit of a trip and stuff. Like, I thought that was pretty sick. And I think Rob and Esther, they're his daughters and son, like, seemed to appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they reached out.
seemed to.
Pretty nice.
Well, before we set off, we saw Kate, and
Yeah.
she was actually crying, wasn't she?
Yeah,
with joy, tears of joy, which
It's
is
going back
unusual
out.
because normally it's tears of sadness when I'm involved. Again, you'll see later on what I mean.
Yeah, true. Very true. Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I love that. And to be honest, like before this trip, man, I was so excited to go. And
me too.
it's still like the whole thing. It's starting to be rationalised a little bit more in my own brain now. But I was just excited to go. I needed a break.
It was just-
proper needed a break.
It was something different to what we've all done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As well,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we've all rode bikes and we've been adventuring and walking and stuff, but to paddle a boat, I don't know if I've ever paddled a boat.
Well, I was thinking about this today.
Today, 15 minutes on Cheswick Canal,
I'd never sat in one
Dodging
before.
wheels and
road
Yeah.
cones and dead floating hookers and stuff.
yeah. Apart from that,
Yeah.
no.
Apart from the local canal, I've never even sat in one before, so it was definitely an experience for me.
How nervy was that then
Yeah,
when we first sat in it?
yeah, pretty sketchy actually. Even though it was super calm because you start in what is it called?
Neptune Staircase.
Top of it, weren't
So
we?
like you said before, so it works its way along like canals and then the odd lock, and then back on canals and stuff. So when we set off, we were just on a nice steady canal, and it was.
And then it opened up
Beautiful,
to
wasn't it?
Loch Lochy, and I just remember just seeing that huge mass of water in front of us, and it was clear blue skies.
Yeah.
And the
It was
sun
beautiful,
coming
wasn't
down.
it? It was a
so
perfect
nice.
day.
We were lucky to get
Perfect.
the weather we did. It was
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
And Scotland is stunning, but it's even more stunning when it's sunny, isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Oh, the drive up there. Let's just talk about that. So we set off at like
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock on a Thursday
evening, yeah.
evening. We had a canoe strapped to the top of the Ford Ranger, which
forgot
was
about that.
pretty sketchy. I mean, it
The
was safe.
side wind.
It was
wasn't
safe.
safe.
No, it was safe when we weren't
blew
moving.
off.
Hung off the side.
It was safe
We
when it
nearly
was
didn't
still.
even make it up there.
So we were all nodding off, weren't we? Well, apart from you, I was nodding off.
1
in
in the
passenger
morning.
seat. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, what's going on?
So the drive to Scotland was like 7 hours ish,
Yeah.
6 to 7 hours, especially with a canoe on top of a Ford Ranger going 60 miles an hour. It was fair play, man. You killed it on that drive. Absolutely killed
5
it.
was in a Springer Spaniel in a
Yeah,
truck.
5 was in the spring. It's
You didn't stop, did you?
Yeah.
Drove it all.
Uh,
Time did we arrive? Early morning, wasn't it?
about 3:30, I think.
Yeah.
And
Couple
then,
of hours sleep, wasn't it?
And had a horrific night's sleep in the front of the Ranger.
yeah.
That was awful, wasn't it? Weren't
I've
good.
slept better. I've
Yeah.
definitely slept better in my life than in the back of the Ford Ranger with a Springer Spaniel on me or whatever it was. Like a baby seat. Because we took 2 people as well, right? Like we
Yeah.
took little Toby and Matt, who's one of your employees,
Yeah.
who helped.
And they helped us along,
Yeah.
just driving the truck up to the next point
Mm.
where we camped. Met
So-
us there.
Okay, so let's just drag it back a little bit. The Caledonian Canal. So it runs from Fort William I keep forgetting. Fort William to Inverness. It's 97 kilometres. There was 3 of us 3 rowing it. And we had a support vehicle.
Mm.
We had a support vehicle. It was driven by Matt and his young boy, who didn't drive because he's 3 years old. But he could have. He's a pretty smart kid. Probably could have
Little
driven.
Toby was smart. He taught us about volcanoes, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he probably could have driven, to be fair.
He knew his stuff about volcanoes,
He
that
did.
lad.
He did.
He was smart.
So it was 3 of us. So yeah, it's a bit of a aspirational dog drink. Yes,
The dog's just taking some water on us.
it's cool. Bit of an aspirational trip, as we just spoke about. I think in hindsight, like we'd never done anything like it before. No real test run. You two had a little go in the canoe, but
Barely out.
we just
We were proper pushing
went
on
for it.
boundaries with terms of, like I say, not being able
Did you
not having
think
done
about
it
it?
before.
Did you think we were?
Yeah, when we set off and we couldn't go in a straight line, of course, it was like, this is going to be a long 4 days, man. We've not even left the vehicle yet. We're still being waved off.
First day we had to do 24 kilometres, was it? 26 kilometres.
Yeah,
Good start.
First day.
yeah, which is a lot. It's a big row.
Well, yeah, it took us an hour and a half to master the first kilometre, didn't it, really?
We were awful.
Were you like before like getting in the canoe were you at all apprehensive about it?
No,
No.
I don't think I was.
No,
You
I
know,
don't think I was at all.
In my mind, we were going to do it. We were well prepared, and we always do stuff, and it always works out okay.
Yeah, it does. It's true. It's very true. And so, I
Yeah, it does.
didn't even second think it. Really, I mean, there might have been the odd time when I was like, it's quite a long way. Like we're going across like some big expanse of water, but I don't think it ever really dawned. Like typical me, to be honest, and that's like one of the major learning experiences. Like you got to prepare for stuff, right? You know, I barely took any stuff, barely took any clothes. I took 1 pair of boxer shorts, which is all right. That's fine, but typical me style. I was trying to somehow use it for work, which looking back was, I don't know. Probably shouldn't have done that, I don't think. I just wanted to try and get away, but I thought it was a good idea to do like a bit of an underwear test for sacks. Just underprepared for sure. Like, I literally had 2 pairs of socks.
On hindsight, after it, we all underprepared.
True.
If we made it to end, we wouldn't have thought anything of it.
That's true. That's very
It
true.
would have been.
But I don't think 1 pair of boxer shorts would
No.
have helped us out in what actually happened. If you had 15 pairs of boxer shorts with us, we would have still ended up in trouble.
Yeah,
Bag would have been
right.
heavier and all that.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about then the first day. So we set off 26 kilometres.
26k.
26k.
We started off on man-made lock.
Yep.
And then after about halfway, we got to Loch Lochy, which was the first lock.
First open
First
span of water.
big- And again, I don't even remember
I think
thinking, fuck, like we're in the middle of a lock. I don't even remember thinking it. I was like, oh, this is cool because it was
so
super
calm.
calm as
It
well.
was
wasn't it? Yeah,
so peaceful.
yeah. The water was super calm.
do
We were
it.
just going along with it, right? Was that the day that
The Danish.
the Danish
On the
gave us
first
the
day,
beers?
so the
Yeah.
Danish on a big boat cruised past us, didn't they? And they were like, "Hey guys, do you have the beers?" We're like, "No, we haven't." "Do you want the beers?" "Yes, please." And then we did that nice meander to the side of the boat, didn't we? We didn't go straight because we thought straight's boring. We'll do a
Yeah.
nice big circle.
Like drifted into it, didn't
Drifted in sideways, yeah, because
And then
we're
crashed
cool.
into their
And
90
then
grand boat.
into it.
And then
At least we knew we made it.
we? Yeah. Little love tap.
And yeah, got some tenants, which was
Actually quite refreshing, to be honest.
it was
with you.
beautiful, yeah.
I almost wanted to throw it away, but actually, once we cracked it and we were like, whoa, look what we're doing. That was beautiful. We're sat in the middle of a
We
lot,
were just
just us 3.
Yeah.
And a
chilling.
dog, and like, that's pretty
Just on
sick,
the
to be
boat.
fair. It's kind of sort of, the bad's like taking away the good, so it's
Yeah.
nice to like remember the good in it.
Yeah, definitely. Share the beer. Yeah.
So we've got a bit of an iPad down here with some videos from the trip that I took on my GoPro, just refreshing us as we go along.
It's probably going to help because it's.
And just
a bit of a
looking at these little clips, like we've not even got t-shirts on, man. We're just chilling,
Yeah.
cruising down the middle of this big open span of
I
water.
remember on that day, my biggest worry was I don't think we've got enough sun cream.
The spray ran out.
That was the one worry in my head. Damn, we ain't got any sun cream.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we navigated Lochie.
Well,
Yeah.
we didn't. Sort of.
We got to the end of it, didn't we? In a fashion.
Well, we
We saw this little beached area, and it was so nice.
yeah.
It was just like, let's pull up there and take 5. We all
5
just
turned
swim,
into
didn't we?
10.
And, yeah, 5 turned into 10, and before you know it, it was. We hadn't even got halfway.
No, we're not. Which is
That's,
a bit scary.
That's you over at side of boat, Al.
Draining.
Yeah. Look how calm it is there with regards to that water and just where we were.
Yeah.
I mean, no life jackets on our out, which was perhaps a bit daft.
Yeah.
But we're just chilling
Yeah.
on this beautiful piece of water. The hills around us.
It's nice. It was beautiful. So nice. So pretty.
And then,
So,
cruise
we
up
stopped
to
for a
that.
swim.
Yeah.
I remember we stopped for a swim, but because it was the first day, we probably didn't know how long it was going to take us to get point A to point B.
We thought we were doing well, didn't we?
Thought we were doing
Because
good.
we
And
got
that's the
halfway
beauty of
across
it,
this
right? Like,
loch.
you've got no phone. Like I didn't. We had one phone with us, maybe 2.
Yeah.
I remember. The beauty of it is you sort of, and that's what I really wanted. That I was looking forward to getting away and not having a phone, not having communication, not being tied to the world. Like I just wanted to get away and chill.
Skim some stones.
Skim some stones.
Some
Have a
stones
little
through
bit of
some
a
rocks.
skinny dip, didn't we? And,
Yeah, definitely. We're fresh, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, we're fresh. Yeah.
Being fresh.
Yeah, and then I guess we meandered off after that. Didn't
Well, yeah. Went from being calm to a bit choppy, didn't it? If you remember. on
Yeah, that was our
day.
first taste of rough waters, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So the
got a
wind
bit
picked up a little bit. And
worrying.
Really? I don't
My
remember
hips
that.
hurt because I just pegged my legs to the side of the boat trying to.
I remember there was a
Brace
bit of a
myself.
side wind, and it kept on trying to drive us into shore. So
Yeah.
we had to just constantly be at a different
I do
angle.
remember, yeah, I do remember now.
We were being pushed. It's first time we know it's being
Yeah.
pushed about by, choppy waves and wind and stuff, wasn't it? And it
Dude, that's one thing I remember now is like how quickly that canoe shifted.
Yeah.
suddenly,
A
wasn't
couple
it?
of paddles on the
Yeah.
wrong side and you were facing the wrong direction, and then
Yeah.
leaning over a little bit,
Yeah.
you're in the wrong direction.
Such a delayed turn there, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like
it's
it wasn't
delayed
instant.
But the water also pushed the back end of the boat round a lot, and it just faced us the wrong way, didn't it?
Yeah. And then you broke your beautiful oar.
Then I was paddling so hard, my oar snapped.
That was
Handmade.
such a shame.
Handmade.
So-
Spent a few hours on that.
Yeah. It was a piece of art, that, wasn't
Is
it?
that when the handle snapped? And then
We lost the end in the
fell off
water,
after?
didn't
Yeah, it snapped twice.
Snapped twice, didn't it?
Yeah.
we? We went back around to get it, if you remember.
Yeah,
We
that's
turned around, which wasn't the smartest moves in that.
But we
water,
managed.
but
We did alright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got
Jeez,
it.
we turned around in that, didn't
Spun around, did a big U-turn,
Yeah.
and then
Then we went to campsite
cruised
1.
on in, didn't we? Yeah.
So the plan as well, for
Cruised on
people
in.
listening, is we were camping every night. So you sort of, we're not taking everything with us because we didn't have room in the canoe, and we had a support vehicle. So we were camping, weren't we, every night. So we got to the first place, which was like, again, stunning. Looked over a massive expanse of water, and it was absolutely gorgeous.
It was at Lagan, near
Okay.
Lagan Wolf Tracks, the bike park
Yeah.
in Scotland.
Oh yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot
so
about
it
that
was,
again. So Lagan.
for anyone that rides and has been up there, they know how beautiful it is around that area. So that's where we were camping, and
Yeah, it was those canal locks started again, wasn't it?
yeah, the locks. And I was knackered. We were like,
Yeah,
something
How hard was
shattered
that
when we were
first day?
we just sat eating something, and yeah, we were pretty drained, weren't we? My left shoulder, because I did most of the paddling on the left, it was burning.
We were like, we
Proper
stopped, and I
burning.
was like, if it's this hard for 4 days, I ain't getting to end.
Yeah.
This is hard. Like, it was hard work.
Yeah,
I
really
think that
hard.
first half though went so easily. We thought, we're cruising this, aren't we? And then when we
got
had to put
slack.
effort in, it's soon dawned on us how much effort you have to put in to keep a boat straight, especially that size boat with that many
Yeah,
people
it's
and
true.
trying to do that.
probably underestimated the first day, let's be honest.
Oh, big time. Of course we did.
Knackered when we
Completely naive and ignorant.
After 2 hours sleep, like
yeah, of
in the
course.
back of a Ranger.
Trucked on. Oh, man. Yeah, it was a tough first day now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then ate some food.
Yep.
Had a little bit of a party on a slack line. Played on a slack line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
We did.
Yeah, had some
Probably
beers.
the
It
hardest
was
thing in the
nice.
world.
Wasn't it?
Slack line.
How difficult was it?
Tried to do a bit of fishing. That was successful. Caught some seaweed.
Oh yeah.
Got a fish stick, didn't we?
stick.
Fish stick come out.
Vegan fish. Oh man. But all in all, a decent first day.
Pretty successful first day.
Yeah,
We had
it
an
was
awful, yeah.
And morale was high for day 2, if not a little bit tired.
We had a terrible night's sleep again, didn't we? 'Cause we were on
Oh yeah.
rock hard floor. Blow up bed had a hole in it, didn't it?
Again,
Of course.
under preparation though. Like literally, I brought nothing other than a sleeping. I didn't even bring a sleeping
You
bag.
know you didn't.
I didn't even
I
bring a
brought
sleeping
you one,
bag. You
yeah.
brought me one. Under preparation, and then that's when I think it's kind of funny at first because you're like, oh, I'm hardly taking anything. This is hilarious, blah blah blah, and then
Yeah.
you go, actually, I'd like a night's sleep. Shit, I don't have like a pillow. I don't.
Yeah.
I've got nothing. And
As
then
much as a pillow.
things start unwinding after that. Do you know what I mean? Like as far as being prepared, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I
Yeah.
had this. I
What
wish.
you've
Oh,
got,
I wish
yeah.
I'd brought that. But again, it's
But you could have filled fucking van and trailer up, couldn't you, really, with
Yeah.
stuff to take if you really wanted to take everything. That was
yeah.
sort of the idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, the whole idea was to take the bare minimum. You know, did that little checklist of things to bring, so we didn't take any unnecessary items because we didn't have all the space, did we?
No.
So
Bit of room in the back of the boat for a few dry bags and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And the rest was in the truck, wasn't it? Following.
yeah,
Day 2.
Yeah, day 2. I weren't looking
Day
forward
two.
to day 2.
No,
I had
I
to
weren't.
admit I was tired and
woke up really stiff and sore.
back, my lower back was killing from
Thing
just
is,
being
with
sat
rowing,
down.
it's muscles you never use.
Yeah,
Like when do you don't?
It's-
I don't
yeah.
row. I've never rowed in
it's
my
an
life. I
interesting
think,
technique. Considering
Yeah.
you're pulling, the front of my shoulder were killing.
Yeah,
and my
Right.
core just from being sat because I was on the back of the boat, which you sort of remember.
Yeah,
you have
you
to
just
sit
sort of-
upright,
You sit upright,
really
and
rigid.
you're like
Yeah,
keeping it sort of, straight with your abs. So yeah, my body in general, I think was just beat the second day. I was definitely feeling it a little bit, but again, underestimated how hard doing 26k in a canoe when you've never canoed before would be. Turns out it's quite hard, doesn't it? It turns out it's pretty damn difficult,
Yeah, it
but
is damn difficult.
beautiful at the same time. Like it was such a nice experience, just going along the water. Again, come quite a long way.
Well, the second day we picked it up by then, hadn't we? We
I
could,
think so,
we
yeah.
could do straight lines.
Yeah,
We got quite a nice
Well,
pace up.
We
were
got a
in
bit of
control.
help from your kite, didn't we?
Oh yeah, so I bought a little tent from Decathlon and made a little sail out of it, and it worked really well because the second day there was a bit of a wind going across Lochy, was it?
No, that was
Loch Oig?
first day.
Loch Oig, yeah,
Loch
Loch
Oig.
Oig or something. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Loch Oig.
Scottish, innit?
dude, how lucky were we though that we met a guy? Well, I didn't know him. You guys did at Esther's wedding, who told us to go up from Fort William to Inverness because initially we were going to go from because logistically you start at the top, you work your way back down.
Yeah,
If he didn't say that, we'd have really struggled.
yeah, because we were
The
just
wind was
facing the
behind us
wind.
the whole way, like pretty much the whole way.
Yeah,
other than
wind was
the
with
odd
us,
bit
but-
of crosswind, but it was with us the whole way. So for anyone who's wanting to do this trip, go from Fort William, go to Inverness because the other way around.
It'd suck balls.
It's so
really.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be horrible.
Yeah, it'd be awful. Battling that wind
Yeah.
constantly.
I'm glad he said that.
Ooh. Yeah,
So-
that little sail helped a lot for that crossing, didn't it? We
Yeah,
just
because
plowed through.
for about what 10 kilometres we could just sit
do
back
well.
and the sail took us and
Yeah.
needed a little bit of steering from behind, but we just sat there and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So we
Enjoyed
hit-
looking at a
hit
red.
that shallow patch, didn't we?
Oh yeah, it took us the wrong way around the boys, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look all those idiots going that way.
It's like, why is the grass in the middle of the water?
It was, wasn't it?
I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, so we sort of like meandered through, didn't we? Like
Yeah.
really slowly.
We got
Grounded
through it
out.
alright. Yeah, we only touched the ground once or twice. I think
Yeah, we did okay.
Considering we went to a shallow bit, we did pretty well.
I think if we weren't in a canoe, we would have struggled. You know, if we were in a big boat, definitely we would have struggled.
Yeah.
But
I had no idea. You've done your sailing thing, have you? Or not? Have you
never
done your
sailed
boat
in my
license?
life.
How did you have a boat? Do you not have to have a boat license?
I once bought a boat and that was that. There's no skill to it.
So do you not know what the big green
I just
things
fancied
meant?
one, so I bought a motorboat.
You don't have to do it. You do nothing.
Probably, but I didn't.
It had a steering wheel and a throttle, didn't it?
Yeah.
What was
Go
different?
wrong.
I thought you'd have to understand the waterways or something. No?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
So there were some big green boys and we went the opposite way and nearly got stuck.
Yeah,
But-
nearly got stuck, but
You
we
know.
managed. We got through. We
Went through.
struggled on, carried on going,
Wow.
and
I don't remember the second day too much. I remember being sat behind the sail quite a bit.
well,
But
yeah,
I
we couldn't
don't-
see a lot, could
No,
we?
we
To be
didn't see
fair,
much. It was
Right,
more.
'cause of the
Did we
sail.
stop or anything? We
Yeah,
stopped for food or anything?
yeah.
stopped for a
stopped
game
to-
of pool sticks, didn't we?
Glue sticks at the
Yeah.
bridge.
Mm.
Bridge.
Which was
Oyster
cool.
Bridge.
Which was really cool. Yeah, we had a little game of that.
So like rekindle your childhood a little bit, I
Yeah.
think.
Chilled out a
You
bit.
can't beat a bit of poo sticks, can you?
You
Nah.
cheated.
Oh,
We
yeah.
tried
Photo
to
finish.
cheat. Didn't
That
do out good
proved
though,
that.
did
You
it?
didn't win.
Nah, that's what you get for cheating. You can't cheat at pool sticks, man. It's
Fair
game will
point.
come back to bite you.
It's probably worth noting as well that by this point, looking back, we'd still not put life jackets on.
Nope. Didn't even
Even
cross
though
my
we went
mind.
across that big loch, we went because Loch Oit must be the second biggest of the three that we were doing.
Yeah, long.
It was long. It was long,
yeah.
wasn't it? And we
It
were
was
like-
long and thin, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
We just got lucky
We
with
weren't
sail,
like
didn't we?
miles
It
from the
would've
shore, but
No.
we were
Far
going a long
enough.
way, weren't we?
been, yeah, far enough that if we'd fallen in, we'd have been in trouble for sure. 'Cause it'd
Yeah.
been cold.
It was surprisingly cold.
Yeah.
The water, it was just cold, wasn't it?
Took
Yeah.
it for granted, didn't we, really?
Yeah.
Like,
After
we're
the
chilling
first
on a
day.
boat with a
Yeah.
sail, hey,
Yeah.
smashing along.
I remember actually I took that swim on day one. We had a little bit of a skinny dip, didn't we, or
We
whatever.
had a bit of a play.
And I was like, fuck, this is actually like
And it was shallow.
really cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like surprisingly cold. Like I know, in the past I've done like loads of the Wim Hofy stuff and like cold stuff, but that was. I remember even that first day thinking, fucking hell, you don't want to go in it, and this would be freezing.
And still, when we set off after that, we still didn't put life
No,
jackets
we didn't
on.
put life jackets on. To
We
be
still
fair.
carried on.
Yeah, we did. Again, hindsight.
In hindsight,
Hindsight's
no
a
use
bitch.
when they're just sat in the bottom of the boat, are they?
No.
Well, comfy seat.
Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah,
padding,
it's a
didn't
seat,
we?
wasn't it? Yeah. Huh. So yeah, what else? What else do you guys remember from day two? I'm drawing a few blanks at the minute.
Day two weren't a great deal. We smashed across that lock with the sail, which took a fair bit of time. We couldn't see out.
Yeah.
And then we played pool sticks.
We
And
got
then
to Fort William after a bit.
yeah, no, we stopped
No,
at where's that place?
Fort Augustus.
Fort
Oh,
Augustus
yeah, of
for
course.
some lunch in the craziest restaurant we've ever been in. How you missed out that experience? It was amazing.
Yeah, I was guarding the dog on the boat. I was loving it.
Those guys have retired for sure after that day. They were just like taking money off people,
were-
off tourists.
It was a restaurant
Iron Brew with
mixed
£3 a can.
with a fast food joint, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that guy was just next customer. People were asking, "Where's my food?" Oh no, it's coming. Next customer. Just rolling in cash, wasn't he? He was loving it.
Yeah. It was funny because when we got to Fort Augustus, we screwed up the plan a little bit, right? Because we thought we'd got another lock to go. Do you remember?
We got there quicker
We were
than we
like,
thought.
actually, this must be it.
No, we had another 6k to go to the campsite, didn't we?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we were there.
Because
And
Fort
then
Augustus is on the bottom
Yeah.
of
Bottom of Loch Ness.
Loch Ness.
Ness.
And we
Nice
got there.
place.
Yeah, it was
Busy.
lovely.
Busy.
Busy place, but it was nice.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It was nice.
Annoying to carry the canoe because obviously every time we
It's
got
quite
to the
a-
lock, we had to take the canoe out.
The canal locks, yeah.
Canal lock, yeah, and take the canoe out, go round it, which, it's not a massive job, but I think there's 9 there, isn't there? There's 9, I think I looked, I'm sure there's 9 all in a row up.
Yeah,
What's
about
it
that
called?
is.
Fort Augustus. I think
Yeah.
It's got a name now, I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
it's got a
quite a
name.
few.
Something staircase.
No.
Is
That
it
was
not?
at the start.
Was that the start
Yeah.
of it?
Mm.
Oh, right, I thought it had a name. Just Fort
It probably
Augustus.
does have a
It
name.
probably
There
does.
were quite a few though.
Yeah.
There were quite a
Yeah,
few
I'm
locks.
sure
I
there's
can't remember how
9.
many. But yeah, it was a bit of a pain to carry, wasn't it? It was awkward
Yeah.
to lift and walk through town with everyone staring
Yeah,
at you,
like,
thinking
well,
you're
these guys
a great
do it.
tourist attraction. Oh, look, they're carrying a boat. It's like, well, yeah, it's
It'd taken all day to go through the lock.
yeah, it would.
Probably, yeah.
Took
all day
hours.
job. Fucking hell.
Yeah, we had
So-
some fish and chips, didn't we? And chilled out.
I was pretty damn stoked to get to the next campsite. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it was an
Yeah.
extra 6 kilometres, wasn't it? So we got back in the boat.
I didn't
and
want to
then-
do that after eating.
No,
I
I
weren't
was
keen
pretty
on
full.
that. Eat far too, I had a chip butty, with
Oh,
fish
yeah,
and
you
chips.
did.
Oh, it was far too much, man. Oh, my poor
I
tummy.
went double cheeseburger. Played it safe.
Didn't
It
you?
went very average. Very average.
For the price you paid.
Yeah. Very average. But needs must. Again, we didn't really take much food on the boat, did we? So we were sort of stopping and.
Actually, we didn't eat much on the boat, did we?
No.
To be fair, whilst we
No.
were going on any of the days,
No.
and we're probably in the boat a good 6 hours a day, weren't we? Start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah, the first
Yeah.
2 days definitely.
Yeah. We didn't really stop. So
Mm.
food was a weird one. That was another one we were perhaps a bit underprepared by.
Yeah,
Like what
yeah.
to take with us,
But again,
Oh, no,
moving
I
was
think
tough.
it was alright because we made the pre-made food in the evening that we heated up.
Yeah, that's true.
And took like protein bars and energy bars to eat, but we just didn't stop
Never really
eating.
ate
It was
them,
like, you're not really hungry.
Just carry
It
on.
weren't super strenuous though, was it?
It was just
Fair.
repetitive.
It weren't-
endurance.
Yeah,
Like-
it's not like you were sprinting and getting knackered. It was just
Just repetitive, depending on
endurance.
how the weather was, whether you went hard
Yeah,
or
that's
not.
true.
Remember, there was like a few spots where we proper hammered down,
Yeah,
like bloody Vikings
we?
going across the water. It was like,
Yeah. I was just wanting to get to the campsite and I just went all I had.
Yeah,
Just nailed it.
That's cool though. You're going that fast. I'm like,
Yeah.
it
this
was
is mad.
satisfying, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
just watching the water split.
We
from
had all the
side
other
to
boats
side.
like, slow down, 6 knots on here.
Yeah. Yeah, just pinning it across. Oh, no. Yeah.
Causing
Anyway,
mayhem.
So we got to the campsite. And
yeah. This is the first campsite, which is an actual real campsite.
And we pulled into that guy's private mooring at the house. Do you
Yeah.
remember?
Oh, we did. That was
And then-
beautiful.
and then
that,
had to,
wasn't it? How nice was that little stone,
Yeah,
that
just
was
private mooring. Then had to sneak up his driveway, up his garden.
Well, we did. You just walked out the front door, straight out the front gate.
Well, you weren't in. It turned out. I don't trust myself going over barbed wire fences.
I fully agree with you.
freaks me
I
out.
would not trust you either.
Especially when you've only got you got one pair of jeans.
Yeah, and
know,
one
you-
set of underpants.
Exactly. You were there and it's game over, innit?
Can't make them laugh.
I hate barbed wire.
Yeah, it's
Scares
not
the
nice.
shit out of me. There's no way I'm ever going over barbed wire. I'd always take the long road. And with this, you walked a little bit further and there were no fence. So you just walked around. But you guys chose to go over barbed
What, you
wire.
literally, you didn't say you
There
walked
were electric
round?
gates.
Yeah, and at the side of it, there was just an opening.
Did he ever tell you we just walked round?
Yeah.
No.
Never
Yes,
told me.
on the way back down in the morning, I was
Right.
like, don't go over there, dude, just walk round. And you were like, no, you did. You were going, no, we're going this way, what if he's blah, blah.
Yeah,
I
how
was
do you
like, we'll
like
be fine.
you know, in your mansion, and then some scruffy little knobheads come up your drive. It's alright, mate.
We weren't scruffy. We had a hot shower that night, so I wasn't feeling
Hey,
scruffy. I was actually
did have a
feeling
hot
quite
shower.
clean.
Those showers in that campsite were the best showers I've ever been in my life.
You know when you were planning the route, were those campsites like highlighted as what people stay at?
No, I kind of did it all off Google Earth,
Right.
and you can measure out distance on Google Earth. So I measured out, divided the distance between the days that we did it, and then measured out and worked out more or less how far we had to go for each day. Obviously, you have to give and take some days because otherwise you'll end up in a shithole or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, you've got to.
Was there like a set amount of days that people usually do it in?
Yeah, normally it's 5.
And we pushed for 4.
Pushed
didn't
for
we?
4 because we couldn't get time off work.
Yeah.
So, again, I think we did really well. You know, most
We
people
did.
take 5 days. We're like
Yeah.
completely new to it. We'll do it in 4.
We knocked 24 hours off the time. Well,
we
we
were doing,
didn't,
we were
but we
doing,
tried.
we were doing great. I think we were doing
I don't
really
think-
well,
I don't think it
especially
was-
when we got midpoint, halfway.
Yeah.
We've started Loch Ness. Second day sleeping, like we've only got 2 days of this, and the last day was a short day planned,
Yeah, it was.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Last
only
day
a
was
few
super
kilometres.
coaster, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So it was
12, 14
14,
k
I
or
think.
something.
Yeah, so I felt good.
Yeah, I don't
Hit
think
that
the-
second campsite, that beautiful shower, some good food. Yeah, I felt
Good
great.
night's sleep.
Yeah, because we fixed the bed, didn't we?
Fixed the bed.
Fixed the bed.
Had ourselves a blow-up mattress,
Maybe.
brother.
Had some nice bit of keep each other warm.
Yeah, man, you
Yeah,
got her,
bro.
haven't you? You got her in a tent, haven't you? What happens in a tent stays in a tent, apparently. All comes out.
My test would disagree with that.
All comes out on a podcast. Oh, dear. Yeah, I don't remember. Again, bit of a blur that night. It was raining a bit, weren't it?
We
So
went
it
for a
was-
bit of a walk up the hill and it was really misty, kind of eerie, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But it was
quite
beautiful all
spooky.
at the same time.
And there was that beautiful, because we were in the woods, there was that beautiful smell of like pine.
Yeah.
It was coming through the valley. It was awesome.
Sort of like a bit wet pine, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
of the mist and it rained. Yeah, it rained a little bit, didn't it?
Do you remember the conversation with the guy who worked for the lifeboat, Coast Guard?
Oh God, yeah, because he
How
was running the
how weird is that
campsite as
now?
well.
I literally said to him, "We hope we don't see you." I know we didn't.
As
but
nice as it was, yeah.
Like,
As nice as he was,
Pretty weird.
I hope we don't see you
Yeah.
again.
Pretty weird looking back.
Well,
Anyway.
we didn't see him.
No, we didn't see him. You're right. We didn't see him. Yeah. Should we fast forward to the next day? I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
No.
not much happened,
A
innit?
bit of a steady.
So we set off in the morning and it was really
did we
calm.
get on it
was it on?
We got on it early morning, didn't we, on that day? Because we knew it was the biggest
Big
day.
day.
Was the
We got on there about 9:30.
All
like
the
a 30
way-
kilometre day.
all the
something
way
like
over
that.
Loch Ness, wasn't it?
28
Forgotten.
kilometres.
35 with our route as we zigzag our way up Loch Ness.
But again, it was so beautiful. Just the water was calm as we set off as out.
Yeah.
And again, no life jackets when we set off
Yeah.
for this one.
So we set off straight onto Loch Ness then, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight onto it.
And then we headed up towards the castle. There's a castle.
Urquhart.
I can't pronounce it, but
Urquhart.
yeah, something like that. So
We'll have done it wrong.
That was a big push to get to there, though. Do you remember? It felt like because we tried the
The
sail.
wind started, didn't it? And then we tried the
Got the
sail,
sail, and
then it failed.
I were definitely feeling tired.
I
to be
was
honest.
feeling
My
the
shoulders-
waves were taking us like left and diagonal, weren't they? And we wanted to go a bit straighter, so we
Yeah,
ended
they were
up
playing
like,
with the
following
boats
them.
again, weren't they?
Yeah, we ended up
Pushing
following
us
them a
around.
bit and then turning a bit and then following and
Yeah,
turning
we
like
did,
a bit of a zigzag. This time we planned the zigzags.
Yeah. Tactical zigzag.
Tactical zigzag.
Tactical zag.
I
Tactical
don't know
zig.
why it's not working.
I think I was tired though. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
like,
I was.
especially because there was you had those 3 points on the boat. So the first guy and the last guy was sat upright. The
Yeah.
person in the middle sort of sat down a little bit, aren't you? Sort of rowing up and over your shoulder.
Yeah, you were lifting
And that
up
was
more, like
brutal.
burning, and your lower back against the seat at the back was a bit.
It was brutal.
Tough.
It was getting tough.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
But yeah, I guess we made it to that castle, didn't we? Which was again. Amazing.
Again, we were a sight for the tourists to
Yeah, I
take
think so.
photos of us in the water. Like,
Yeah, I
look
remember
at
How many
coming
people
round
do
these
you think
things.
do it? Do you have any idea?
Eh?
How many people do the Caledonian?
No idea.
No.
I
You think
just
a lot.
remember coming around that corner and there were just like 1,000 Japanese tourists just taking photos of us. And I'm just like, we're clueless. You're like, what are we doing?
Weren't we? Didn't really know
I
what we
forgot
were
about
doing,
that.
did
There were.
I think it was really cute because like 3 guys and a little spaniel dog in the front of the canoe.
Yeah.
Great photo, great
Yeah.
photo.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
So
proud
it's quite
showing that
nice
to the family.
to chill out there.
It was nice when we got to that
Had a
castle,
coffee,
wasn't it?
yeah, it was good. A little chill out, ready
Yeah,
for
recharge us batteries
the next leg,
for the
Yeah.
which
slog.
was the last leg.
Was what? Should we have a beer refresh before we get into
Yeah, let's
the
do it.
fun
Yeah.
/ deep stuff?
Yeah,
Literally deep.
I don't know why it's a
Can,
pain in the arse.
While he's getting a beer. Yeah. Oh, I know it's weird watching it all
I
though.
know, innit? How cool was...
Do you turn
That
the volume
was-
down at all? Or
Yeah.
not? It will pick it up.
Yeah, no, we'll
Especially
do.
we're gonna watch more.
That was
Oh wow. Oh yeah.
start
So
of
that's
Loch
one.
Ness on that third day.
Oh right.
That's how calm it was when we set off to that castle.
How, man, it was just deceiving when you look out at an expanse of water like that, and you just like,
Just
that's
Perfect. And
Perfect.
the hillside reflected perfectly in it,
it's
didn't
just
it?
a
It's
snooker.
like-
That's just a snooker table.
Yeah.
It's perfectly flat.
it was
But in
surreal, wasn't it?
yeah, but
I remember just getting in the boat and it just...
what I've been
When we
thinking
weren't
about is,
talking, it was just calm, wasn't
yeah,
it?
what I've been
Quiet.
thinking there is like when you were looking out at the water, it looked perfectly still. But was it? If that makes sense, because then, or did it just turn on us at every now and again? I don't know.
I think. Well, it's not like the ocean, is it? It's not got waves,
No.
but it gets affected by wind, which
Yeah.
we were told by.
Yeah, and boats.
Especially that guy, lifeguard guy we were talking to, and boats passing. Yeah. So, and he did say, the weather can change at any point. So, just don't be silly. Have a look, and if it looks alright,
Cheers, boys.
it is.
Cheers.
If not, cheers, man. But yeah, we definitely, from that point when we set off on that third morning to the castle, from how calm it was to just before we pulled up to it, the wind had definitely changed the water.
Oh, massively.
It started to come in, hadn't it?
So for people listening, we halfway along, I guess technically, no, 3/4.
Yeah.
Because we could see where we were heading. So
Well, we had
Less than
10
3/4.
kilometres to go. We'd done 18. We had 10 to go.
Sounds about right.
So from the castle, it was like 10 and.
To Dawes Bay.
But
where
yeah,
we
the
were
plan
staying.
was to cross the loch, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was the
It weren't
first
to go down
time.
the side.
The first time we actually had to cross. The rest of the time we had the safety net of sort of like sticking to the edge, and we could keep to the edge of the water, which if anything
Just in case,
happened,
yeah.
we were meters away from the shore.
Yeah.
But this was the first time that we had to go open water, balls deep.
I was slightly nervous, even looking at it from the. Remember, we were sat on top, going, "Oh God!" as if
Yeah, when we were
all
looking out of the
water.
castle,
Yeah.
and we were looking over the side
There's
to
something
where we were
scary about
going.
water. I don't know if it's just deep in my DNA, but looking at that much expansive water, I was like.
From the castle, you could see where we had to go and where we had to cross, and it was just like in realisation. The other times, there was kinks in the canal, and you could never see where you were fully going
Yeah,
to.
that's true.
If it was a big straight line, you'd be like, "Holy shit!" So you never saw the end. But with where we were in the castle, you could see 10 kilometres.
You could, couldn't you?
And
It's
it
like
looked-
literally as far as the eye could see.
Looked a long
We
way.
were like going there.
It did look a long way, but the water looked all right. It looked relatively calm, didn't it?
We were all comfortable with going across it.
Yeah. For
Mm.
sure.
We aimed for a diagonal point where we were going to cross to.
Yeah. So if you remember, in the distance there was 2 cutouts of grass, weren't there? Like 2 trees. Sorry.
Yeah, there was clearings,
We were
weren't
aiming
there?
for one of those clearings.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a nice, not straight across, obviously, because then you're crossing the waves square on, which weren't ideal. We sort of planned to go diagonally, didn't we?
Yeah.
When we were looking at it, anyway,
Yeah.
from above, and the plan looked fine. I got to admit, I was nervous.
Yeah, definitely.
Even when we were in the castle, thinking we've got to.
I was nervous, but if there was any doubt that we would end up in the water and that it would be serious as it was, I would have said no. There's no need to do this. We can get Matt to pick us up. We don't have to do this.
But again, we were maybe a little
Bit excited.
bit naive. Like, oh, we'll be all right. We've done all right so far.
Yeah.
If the wind gets up, we get to sail out. Brilliant. We just crack on. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it was a little bit, but like Al says, if it was too bad when we got back down to the boat and he looked out and there were waves, then I'd like to think at least one of us would have said, I'm not happy here, let's not bother. But
again,
we all looked at it and it was all looked
Thankfully,
alright.
We'd had worse, that first day when we were crossing.
Yeah.
When we were coming down a lot.
It was
the
worse,
waves
wasn't
were
it?
worse then than what they were when we set
Yeah,
off.
the back end of the first day were definitely worse than the start of that crossing.
thankfully, we put life jackets.
Thankfully, yeah.
The first time. So there must have been
First time.
something like in the back of our minds.
Because
Saying, right.
I remember though when we got to Loch Ness, I think the second day we came to Fort Augustus and we saw Loch Ness for the first time, and I remember being like, "Shit, look at it! It's mad! It's literally it's basically like looking at the sea with a couple of mountains on the side of like your peripheral vision.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
huge.
It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nearly 2 kilometres across nearly.
I didn't know
Yeah.
how big it were. It took.
It was awe. I know that's deep. It was awe-inspiring. When we got to Fort Augustus and I seen it, I was like, "Holy shit!" Because there was a massive boat on there and it looked minuscule and it's pretty much it's the biggest
It's the
biggest
biggest
section of water in the UK.
expanse of water in the UK.
Yeah, and it's the deepest.
Yeah.
by a long way as well. It's deeper than the sea in most places.
Yeah, it's pretty deep, isn't it?
Yeah. Loch Ness facts.
Yeah,
So
she's a big one.
we got in the canoe, put life jackets on. Never worn a life jacket in my life, but somehow got it on. Amazing that you bought life jackets. I'll forever be grateful that you bought life jackets because, again...
Thank you, Al.
Again, stupid that we didn't have them before, you know?
Very stupid.
Yeah.
Even the very first day when we set off, to be fair, we probably should have had them.
Yeah, probably should. The whole time, but, you know, you get on with it, don't you? Again, looking back, there's a lot of things we changed, but anyway, so we got in the canoe to go to, what was it called? That point where we had Doors.
And you boys, you boys never saw it, did you?
No. Unfortunately
no.
Unfortunately not. Apparently it's beautiful.
It's remarkable, yeah.
So we've been told.
I'm going to take your word for it. You didn't even take a photo.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I saw your your log, didn't you?
Yeah.
Joe?
Oh yeah.
Had the log.
Your Swedish log.
Swedish log burner.
Which devastated not to see.
We'll do another one.
Thank you.
There'll be time.
Thank you.
We will. Alright, so we got in the boat and we were heading for a point which
We were
was
ready.
roughly 10 kilometres away. No, probably not, probably like 6 because we were going along the coast then for like 4, weren't we? Something.
Yeah, we were going to cross it a bit of a diagonal and then go up that. Because we originally set off up the left, hadn't we, to the castle, and then we were going to cross over to the right and then go up the right-hand side a little bit as you're looking at a map. And, yeah, the main part was the crossing.
Yeah.
Which,
And it was going okay until about...
Of course, it was...
I think it was going alright actually. We were at high spirits were high.
We had a couple of moments, didn't we, with the waves taking us, and we thought, we can't get side on, and we all knew what we were doing at that point, didn't we? We knew we couldn't get side onto a wave because it had come over the side.
Yeah.
So we knew we had to turn it round, so everyone had a job to do, and we were all... we were quiet, weren't we? We were quiet and a bit steely, but we were on it, and we were paying attention.
Definitely paying attention.
I like to think.
Because I guess as we were crossing then, so we were going from like west to east, northeast, west to north.
We're going northeast.
We were going northeast. I'm terrible with that. I can't.
Yeah.
We were going northeast, but the waves were sort of coming north in a way, weren't they? So they were sort of
west, weren't they? They were coming
across,
diagonally the other way.
Diagonally across.
If you sort of remember, because every time we tried to go to the point we were looking at, the waves were relatively square on. So we sort of, when it settled down a bit, we'd make a bit more of a diagonal and go for it. And then when we saw them kicking in a bit, we'd straighten up a bit.
Right.
So we were sort of, again, snaking a little bit.
But to our advantage.
To our advantage.
But the winds, they kept on picking up, didn't they?
I don't know. It
was weird.
Must have.
Yeah,
The winds were getting higher. The waves, from what I remember, started coming from all angles rather than... I don't know. I might be totally wrong. But
there were the bow waves off. There were a couple of tourist boats doing tours.
I do not remember them.
Really? I do, because they were the first big waves and we had to go square on.
I remember hitting them straight on. Yeah, no, I remember that actually. So
I think that was the first time when I was quite uncomfortable because I was just like, holy shit, and you realise that the water's starting to lap over and actually coming into the boat, and I was just like, oh God. And I remember saying to you guys, I was like, guys, we could do with getting some water out of the boat.
Yeah, it got a bit intense, didn't it, at that point.
And then going, well, how do we do that then? Because we'd not really planned for water coming in the boat, so how do we get it out of the boat?
No, again, perhaps a bit unprepared. We sort of didn't really have it, did we?
No.
We had an old woolly hat, which couldn't find it.
We lost.
So water started coming in. That was like our first big issue, right? Like, water started coming over the side of the boat. I was sat in the boat. Obviously, you guys are in it.
I was at the back.
At the back, so you're sort of on a seat. I was just sat on the floor.
Yeah. So I saw the first wave come in. It come from my back right, and it slowly come over the side and just lapped ever so slightly over the edge of the boat and in. And I remember thinking, oh Jesus, don't bring another one. Let's just keep moving, keep going, guys. I remember saying to you guys, just keep moving. We're good. We've got a bit of water. We're good. We just need to keep moving and keep going. Because if we stop, then you're just at the mercy of the water, aren't you? It's going to do what it wants. So we did. We carried on, and like you say, we tried to bail water out.
We had
with a bit of tissue, didn't we?
tissue which I dropped, and I didn't dare tell anyone I dropped it.
He didn't dare tell you. I saw him drop it, and his face was like,
oh no! I was like, no. We had like a little
tissue.
It was
a little bit of tissue.
It was a little. It was like half a handful of tissue, and I'm trying to get.
It was working.
6-10 litres of water out with this little bit of tissue. I mean, the odds were pretty much stacked against us from then on.
But
really,
but at the same time, we needed you to steer as well, because two couldn't handle it. We needed all three steering to keep us from going side onto the waves. Because I remember as soon as you stopped, we started to turn.
So I was
So it's
frantically...
like, Davey, get it out. Davey, paddle. Davey, get the water out. Davey, paddle. And you just back and forth. Like
paddling, water out, steer. Because you sort of steer
Yeah,
by putting the oar like
dipping
behind
rolling,
you, don't you?
weren't you?
And it, like, you
whilst
like
me and
drag
Al were
it.
paddling, you were
So that's how we
roaring.
were steering. And yeah, it was getting frantic in there.
You ended up with Al's hat, didn't you?
Yeah, I donated my hat to the cause, and it worked a little bit. It got a couple of pints out.
What was the first comment? Don't drop it or
Oh,
something.
My brother bought me that for Christmas. You better not lose it.
I was using it. I had it like squashed together like a cup, and I was paling the water out, and it was working.
It was working.
But as it was coming out, it was coming back in.
Another one did exactly the same.
So it was like you get there and you're
over.
like, oh, it's looking good, it's looking good. Like I'm not 2 inches of water, in, and then.
Do you remember as the boat was slowly filling up, it also got really unstable.
Oh yeah.
It was so wobbly.
Every bit of movement that we did in the waves and the water did, it took it really bad, didn't it?
It was almost like having flat tyres. It was like
yeah.
It was doing that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that sunk us a little bit more into the water, and then you were, Alex, talking about swimming for it, if you remember.
Yeah, I thought, well, if I got out, then the weight of me would hopefully give the boat more buoyancy, and you guys would be able to make it back to the shore where we could deal with the boat. So I was like, I'll jump out. And you were like, no, stay in, it'll be fine.
Yeah, we needed 3 on the paddles. If you would have gone, we would have lost control of it.
You wouldn't have been able to get back in. We know that, because then it just tipped over.
I would have just swam for it.
Long way.
It was a long way.
To be fair,
I just thought it's either we're all going in or I go in and sort of like deal with it.
We just got past the middle point, haven't we?
Yeah, we were
not
we're
far
over,
past halfway.
Yeah, we're over the middle point.
And
So
then another wave come. I think it was 3 or 4 in total that got us.
Yeah, and it got frantic.
One after the other.
One after the other. They weren't.
Well, that's when
away.
I remember all of the water. It not been like waves coming from any. It was just all over. I don't know if that's just I've made something
I
up.
think we just sunk that far. We were in the waves.
Coming from that side, coming from that side, and then when the boat did go over, it happened like that. It was like
I remember
boom, it went over, and we're like, oh.
A wave hit the front end of the boat and it just cockled it over, and I remember trying to roll into the water without disturbing anything, but it didn't work, and that was it. The boat
you
was
trying
over.
to like get out and leave it.
Yeah, because it cockled the front end under, and I tried to get out the boat without disturbing it.
Right.
It just didn't work.
And then we were in.
We're in water.
In Loch Ness. Fortunately, like you say, we had life jackets on. Yours two had a pull cord to inflate, didn't they? But
yeah, it turns out they were self-inflating, automatic. Brilliant.
How does it know?
I don't know, but science, mate.
Very grateful when it did know, that's for sure.
But one of my biggest fears when we went, because it was cold, but I was all right when we first went in. I was a bit shook because obviously if we're falling in, but my first thought was, dog's gone in.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh shit, the dog's in. He's not got a life vest on. What's going to happen to Ernie? Is he going to be all right? And I remember him swimming between all three of us.
Yeah. He was panicked.
Almost panicked. Yeah, panicked, like breathing at the water. And he went to all of us, and he clambered right in front of me, and I put my arms out and held onto the boat because it was just under the water. If you remember, it hadn't sunk. It was still there.
Yeah.
Well, it had sunk.
I was like, I remember I was just holding on to it for some reason.
And I was holding Ernie up, thinking, he's in trouble here. How are we going to get the dog out? How am I going to get out?
My first thoughts were, well, when I went in, I lost control actually of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I panicked, and it was that first. It was so cold, it takes your breath away. But then you're trying to breathe, and the waves hitting you in the face. And I remember looking at James, and he just went, "Al, calm down, just breathe normal." And you sort of like you set me on the pace of just like calming down. Because other than that, I think I would have just been panicked and flapping. So you calmed me down actually.
I think I remember. This is gonna get emotional.
Yeah, it's a bit haunting.
Sort of is.
It's a bit scary. This. So I remember when like the first initial feeling was like shock of. It was like, okay, we're in the water. This is serious. This is really serious. Like we're in really cold water, and we're probably what, a kilometre.
We're just shy of a kilometre from the shore.
From shore, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I've never swum that far in my life.
Me neither.
Ever. I don't think I have.
Me neither. Never mind open water.
Yeah.
You still haven't.
Yeah, still. Very good. But I remember it being just like that shock, but then thinking, I think we can all probably agree that
I don't think we knew what to do,
there
did
was no
we?
like plan. It was just
No.
like, shit, this weren't meant to happen. And I think like you said, I was like, it's cold, but I'm okay. I'm all right. It's cold, but I'm okay. Like I've been, over the years, I've done, not years, probably a couple of years, I've done like quite a lot of cold water stuff.
Yeah.
Where you have cold baths and
Yeah.
stuff, so you know to keep your breath
Can't
deep and
breathe, calm. That's one of the things I knew.
and just big deep
Yeah.
breaths. So I was like, right, because of that. But honestly, it was just like that bobbing in the water, going, looking at you guys, going,
Yeah.
right.
What do we do?
What do we
What
do?
do we
Yeah,
do here?
I remember
We're
that. pretty
in the middle of
clearly.
Loch Ness.
This wasn't on the itinerary. What's
No.
going on?
Weren't at
Now
all, was
what?
it? So
Again, like, I've got some big mental holes here, and I don't know what happened
Well,
when,
I
but I
think-
remember just that
yeah,
feeling
we
of
all-
like being really
it was
scared.
trying to get attention. I think the first thing
Yeah.
that clicked was you like pick up an oar and wave it. I had my shitty whistle, which did sod all because it was full of water for one, so it sounded like one of them bird tweety whistles.
Yeah, I remember loads of birds came. Loads of birds came out of
Mating call.
nowhere.
And we were just trying to get, because we saw a couple of tourist boats, didn't we, in the distance
Yeah.
back towards the castle where we'd come from. And I remember we were shouting and we were waving, but to be fair, you can't really see how it. And they're not going to hear over an
They're
engine.
not
are
going to
they?
hear or see. We were just like,
We were distant
tiny
away.
dots.
Yeah, we were.
And I
distance
remember
away.
just thinking, please see us,
Yeah.
and they just went past, and then the second boat went past, and that was when I said, guys, we need to
Yeah.
swim.
It went a bit quiet, didn't it, before
Yeah.
you said that? I remember that, and then you said
Leave the
that.
boat. We need to, grab
So-
grab your dry bags. We need to swim for it.
I was holding the boat for some reason still, and I was like, I'd start like swimming but dragging it.
I think
going,
we
"I'll
all
take
had
this with me for
I
some
think we
reason."
all had intentions of just trying to take everything with us at one point, because I had the boat as well at the other end to you, and I had my bag, and I managed to pick up my camera. I was like, yeah, we've got everything here. Yeah, as Al says, we'll start swimming. We'll be fine. We'll take everything with us, and it don't work like that, does it? When you're trying to swim across a loch with waves and whatever
Well,
going on
The
below
water
you.
was 5 degrees that day.
Really?
The water was 5 degrees.
I know the
So-
highest it goes is like 6. That's the
Yeah,
highest it goes.
after summer.
Yeah. So it was about
Yeah.
5, was it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Which
Yeah,
is,
it
if you're
worked
going to do
out.
like a cold plunge, you're going to go in about that for 3 minutes ish. Probably a long stint's probably 3 minutes in that sort of degree water. Again, I remember it
Not fully submerged.
Well,
Yeah, fully submerged
and
and
not panicking.
knowing you can get out.
not panicking.
Not in the middle of
Mm.
what that big open bit of water actually is.
Mm.
So we
it was-
decided to head for, there was, on the shore, there was a camper van. There was a little camper van
Yeah.
in a lay-by that pulled up, that was there absolutely coincidental, because they pulled up in a lay-by, there were a couple of trees obstructing their view, and they were like, oh, we'll just go to the next one.
Wow.
Really?
They'd only just pulled up when we'd gone in.
Really?
Yeah, I spoke to the woman about it afterwards, and she saw us in the water, and it
Did she
was
see
actually,
us go in?
No, I don't think so.
She just saw us in the
She
water.
saw us in the water and realised that we were in trouble, so they phoned the 999, and it was those that rung the alarm.
Right.
Wow.
I do remember vaguely seeing it in the distance, like really vague, but I don't.
Yeah, I remember Al
It's
saying
tiny.
there's a
Go to
camper
that.
over there.
It was
Go
small,
for that.
Where
Yeah.
we were, it was probably really
And it
small.
was where we were aiming for originally, to be fair,
Yeah.
wasn't it? In
Yeah.
the clearings, like it was the right direction, and the fact someone was there, that it made sense to swim towards it. Because even if we'd got there and there were no one there, we got onto the beach.
Yeah.
It was to say we had to get up to the road then
Yeah.
and wait for a car, someone to come by. But thankfully there was someone there to aim towards, and it was a case of
The cold, which is unreal.
It was a case of get swimming, wasn't it? And
yeah.
which
So by that point, when we left the boat, we'd been in the water for about 5 minutes at that point.
I reckon
yeah.
So
We probably meandered
just-
a bit more than what we
Yeah.
think.
So
Not
you-
talking, but we were just like, right, what do we do?
But then your core temperature has like dropped because the cold's getting to you then,
Yeah.
isn't it? And
I
your
remember,
core
I remember having
temperature
cold
drops.
legs.
And
Like first thing that felt cold were my legs.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember once we started swimming, I tried to swim on my front, but the life jacket was pulling up and it was choking me. And that started to panic me because I was like, I can't breathe. And then I tried laying on my back. And then that's obviously how you're meant to wear it. But because I hadn't tightened it up around my waist, that also was riding up. So with one hand, I had to hold the life jacket down to stop it riding up. And with my legs, my arm, I started to swim. And that was going okay for a short while. But then when I turned around to make sure I was swimming in the right direction, that was the part when I was like, my dog's gone. I know my dog was by my side, and I turned around and he wasn't there.
Jeez.
And then I could hardly see you.
Yeah.
I could see James. And at that point as well, the cold had really got to me, and your limbs stop working, they cramp up, and no matter how much you want them to move, it's like waking up in the middle of the night when you've been sleeping on your arm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your arm, it's like someone else's arm, and
Yeah, it is, yeah.
your limbs go like that. You just
Yeah.
can't control them. And I couldn't see, my dog, and I was just like, I'm gonna die. This is it. This is the
Do
end.
you think that?
Yeah,
Did you?
I thought we were gonna die, and you were quite a long way away, and
So the
the
problem I had
camper van was
was
still fucking miles
Never
away.
seemed to get close to
It
it.
never
My
got
foot
closer.
never got
Didn't.
closer.
I had a similar problem to you then because we had the same life jacket on, and I think again naivety when we set off from Urquhart Castle, put it on thinking it's on, be all right. I remember tightening it up, but not crazy tight. Like I just went, oh, that's probably okay if it goes off, I'll be all right. Just total naivety. But then when we went in the water, the life jacket just went psh, and I was like, fuck, like thank God that's happened because I didn't know where the cord was. You'd showed me, but I didn't know where because I think you probably really quickly went, oh, cord's there, and handed it me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there
it was
was
just
no
dangling out the
full-
bottom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, to
Like,
be fair,
I didn't
yeah.
know where it, so luckily it had gone off, but I had the similar sort of problem to you then. So my life jacket came up above, like to the side of my head, and whenever I let go of it, it felt like it was just going to pop off, and I was like scared to death that if I just let go, it's just going to go. So I didn't dare let go of it, so I just held it like with both hands, front of my chest, held the life jacket down, and just started to tread water, and then I never let go of it. I never once, after that one time where I went like that, like let my hands like loose and it came up, I just grabbed it back down. I was like, that's it, I'm not letting go of that. I can't afford to let go of it. Same as you, like trying to think. I've got so many holes in this story, but camper van was a long way away.
It just stayed small.
It
didn't
just
it?
kept,
Just
and I
stayed
remember, we've probably been in the water at this point, probably, when I lost sight of you two, probably 20 minutes, give or take, probably
I'd
20
say that'd be
minutes.
about
I'd lost you two, I was just on my own.
Because me and James were in the water for half an hour before we got to the shore,
Yeah.
and that's from when they'd seen us. So I reckon possibly a little longer, 35
Yeah.
minutes maybe.
Really?
For me, one
But
of them.
I lost sight of you guys. I was on my back. you know, there's a lot of thoughts going through your head at that point. I remember when you're swimming in like a sports centre and you've got those lines on the ceiling when you're swimming on your back. I was making lines out of clouds and just going for it, and then turning around, looking, and being like, oh, I'm no closer still. I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm literally I'm getting further away, if anything. Because when we fell in, the camper van was almost like straight ahead of us, maybe a bit to the left. But at some point, the camper van was like way to my right, and I'm just like, I'm not getting anywhere. This is really scary. Kept just kicking. There was a point where I got like cramps so bad in my legs that my legs just stopped working, but I kept kicking through it. Like everything locked, it was solid, but I was still somehow kicking, just kicking, but not really going anywhere. I guess I don't know, like without getting too deep, there was probably 3 or 4 points where I was like, that's it, I'm done, just gonna wait it out here, you know.
Yeah,
just go down. Like there was definitely like that thought, which is horrible to say, but you know, if you read anything about how, you know, not hypothermia, been in cold water, your brain starts telling you some pretty fucked up stuff. So I remember it said, take your life jacket off.
Yeah.
Take your life jacket off, you'll be able to swim. And I was like, oh, that's my brain doing stupid stuff. Like I sort of was conscious enough to know that my brain was saying do something really stupid. Obviously don't listen to it. But my hands, by this point, had also frozen to my, like, you know, I couldn't move them. I tried to move my fingers. I was like, I can't move them if I wanted to, so can't. So there's that thought going through my head. I remember, obviously, like, thinking about your family. There was all that, like, literally, you know, you talk about having, before you die, you have, like, flashbacks, and you think about everyone. That happens, for sure. Like, you know, it's weird now to be able to say to people, no, that does happen. When you think you're going to die, you're thinking about that. And I remember I was singing a song over in my head, and I shared that song with you guys, which is, the chorus just goes, don't die today. I didn't know what any of the other song was, but other than, I was just singing it over and over to myself, don't die today. And then there was a point, one of the most, like, prolific memories I've got is just laughing to myself. I was upside down, like just staring at the thing, laughing my ass off, just going, nah, not going out like this.
I mean, I had a bit of a similar experience to you from regards to going in to that point of feeling like this is it, to again feeling like fighting it and laughing. But for me, I've actually got a video of it. I started to record myself and I was going to start saying goodbye to everyone.
Gnarly.
Just before we started swimming, because I thought, I don't actually know if I'm going to get out of this.
Is that why the video?
I'm going to say goodbye to all my family and friends, and it was on like a little floating device, so I thought someone might pick it up at some point.
Yeah.
And then I remember turning it off and thinking, no, that's like a cop-out. If you've done that, you can just stay here and pass away, and then you've done your nice deed for the family. They can see a nice video for you. But do you know what? No, I remember turning it off and thinking, right, set off swimming. So again, similar to yours, kicking away. I was on my back, kicking away too. Turned around, and you were actually in front of me to begin with. You now were in front of me, and I could not swim.
Really?
You two were just going away. I was like, James, you're meant to be like the
athlete.
Well, yeah. Well, race mountain bikes, don't I? You're meant to be fit. You're meant to be able to do stuff like this. And I just remember thinking, I'm fucked here. I can't do this. And then I sort of caught you up and passed you, didn't I? I was trying to talk to you. I said, come on, Dave, we can do this. And we had a bit of a chat together.
Did we? I don't remember that.
Yeah, we were chatting. We were like, we can do this. We've done similar to this, because me and you, we've been on a few, NAR runs in past, haven't we? And which consisted of running through the winter, running through rivers and cold waterlogged fields and swims.
Yeah.
So I've been exposed to cold weather and cold temperatures a lot with riding, but this was something else. And as I pulled alongside you and we were swimming together, I was like, do you know what, we're going to be all right. Yeah. We're moving now. I know we're moving because we are. And then Al started, I don't know what he's got on him, he must have got webbed hands or something, but he powered on.
Yeah.
And I found it easy to swim on my front because the life vest I had was a lot tighter fitting around my torso. It wasn't up around my neck, so I was able to swim on my front more. But then your arms get tired, especially from paddling, so flip over my back.
Yeah, we were tired going in there, that's the thing as well, we were knackered going into it.
Yeah, it weren't just like, that's the first experience of the weekend. We'd been paddling for 2.5 days. And I remember looking around and seeing Al, because the front of it was bright orange, wasn't it? I'm guessing, so if anything's above, you can see it. Yeah. And I remember seeing Al, and he's dissipated into the distance, like he said, and he's gone. So I thought, fuck, dog's gone. And I turned back around to look at you, and you'd gone out of my sight.
Which is crazy, because...
And I thought, fuck, Davey's gone.
Yeah.
And then not long after that, like you say, things playing on your mind, to me it was, do you know what, just chill out here for a bit, you'll get picked up.
Really?
And I remember laying onto my back and just shutting my eyes, and everything went calm, and I actually felt warm. I felt really nice and warm.
Your body massive tricks, innit?
No waves. And I remember a sudden little flick that it was a night sky with stars, and it was beautiful. So I just remember this is nice. I'm gonna get picked up in a bit.
No way.
The lifeguard's gonna come in a bit, and then again similar. Just thought, no, can't do this. Right, you've got to swim. You don't know where Davey is. You know Al's making good headway. Get going. You've got to swim and just do what you can. And like you said, you ended up to the left. I ended up to the right.
Oh, did you?
I think Al's the only one that went straight.
Went the front door at camper van out.
I fucked off to the right. And I really felt as though something was dragging me around under the water. Like I wasn't going where I wanted. I was just going any which way. And
there's definitely some currents at play. There must be, because again, I don't know if I was personally swimming straight, but I was nowhere near where I was aiming to be in the end.
The wind was taking us as well, because the waves were still pretty high at that point. So I remember getting a few facefuls of water and
choking on the buggers was tough, wasn't it?
So the waves were still hitting us and just taking us down anyway.
Yeah, one thing that I had, which really fucked me up, was I had a hat on, like a woolly hat, and I had my hood pulled up as well. And when the life jacket came up, it pushed everything forward, right? So my hood came up, but my hat was still in place pretty much. But then once my hood must have got wet from a wave, it all came down around my face, right?
Oh.
So, but the hat fell forward. So the hat, and I didn't dare let go of the life jacket. So the hat came up. It was sort of really on top of my eyes, here, across, just underneath my eyebrows. And it was really off-putting, because I'm thinking, my hat's wet. If that comes up over my face, I'm going to smother myself. That's what my brain was going.
Waterboarding yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to waterboard myself.
Oh.
My brain was thinking that, so I was trying to... At one point, I remember I was trying to dip my head back in to get the thing to come back. Do you know what I mean?
Trying to put your head in the water?
Yeah,
the back of it, the weight of the water to pull it off.
To pull my hat
really?
back. Yeah, because it was that, it was just on my head. It was playing with me so much that I was just this is going to really fuck me over if it comes up over my nose or something, because I couldn't move my hands. My hands had gone so cold that they were not moving, basically. Yeah, I mean, we're in cold water for a long time. I mean, I'm really happy that, in a way, that I can talk about it now, because this morning, I mean, what is it today? Wednesday?
A week and a half, hasn't it?
It's been a week and a half, and this morning was the first time I've even spoken about it, really. I spoke to Emma, my missus, who's been absolutely amazing, in bits. But there's been a couple of standout things. So I went into work on Monday for an hour or two. My business partner, Mark, is the first person that said to me, "Did you think you were going to die then?" Just like that. Not, he wasn't trying to be, what's the word? He weren't trying to be
sympathetic.
Yeah, he weren't trying to be, he just said, was there a point where you thought, you were going to die? And I just started tearing up, and I was like, man, yeah, I mean, that's the first time anyone's actually said it, and it's also like accepting to yourself that, yeah, you know, there was probably 3-4 times where I was like, this is it. You know, I'm not going out like this though. Do you know what I mean? Like I was pretty.
Mate, me too. I thought I was done. I thought that's me dead.
Yeah.
And when like I say, when you'd gone out of my sight, and I thought, that's it.
Yeah, I think
One of my best mates is gone.
Yeah.
But there's a time as
What
well
the
when you
fuck?
realise that, for me,
It's heavy.
I think it was the second time, because every time I was on my back, I couldn't see anything. So every now and then I had to roll over.
You didn't know which way you were going, really, did you?
No, you just kicking your
Just
legs,
kicking.
hoping to get to the shore. So every now and then I'd roll over to see what was going on, and I think it was the second time I couldn't see you at all, and
Right.
that was the time I was like, that's it. Dave is gone. I
Mm.
could still just about see you. Still couldn't see my dog.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so Davey's gone, dog's gone. There's me and James still left. We can do it. We can do it. And I heard people shouting from the shore.
Yeah, all of a sudden we
And-
got a bit closer, didn't we?
And that was like that was the sort of that was the hope then.
Really?
That was the first time I felt hope that we could get back. Also a little bit angry. I was in my head. I was thinking, why aren't they coming in to rescue us? Why aren't they rescuing us?
It's
It's
like
like-
a long time.
Yeah, but of course they're not going to come in. They've
No.
been in the same
Oh,
situation.
you mean
we
those
were.
people?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
I thought you meant the Coast Guard or something.
No.
Right.
But that also crossed my mind. Like, why isn't anybody helping us?
Well, I
Why-
remember
where
being
is
in
everybody?
and seeing a Coast Guard looking boat, which now looking back, I don't think it was. It was probably just
Oh,
a rig,
yeah.
because we saw it the
did.
next day,
It zipped
and I was like,
along.
that was out there yesterday, and
The
it
black
zipped.
rib.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
came across like, obviously I was on my back, so I seen it, and I was just shouting so loud. Like, obviously they're not going to hear you. They're probably half a kilometre away. Got an engine.
Right behind
120
Yeah,
decibel
I mean,
of
but
engine
there's
behind
that,
them.
there's that thing in your brain saying, if I shout loud enough,
Yeah.
they're gonna hear me. They didn't. Definitely didn't.
No.
I mean, there's a lot more obviously that goes through your brain when you're going through something like that. There was the whole, you know, take your life jacket off, then you can swim. There was, you know, just stay here for a
Sure,
bit.
get
They'll be
picked up,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, there'll be.
Yeah.
There's every thought imaginable that I don't ever wanna have again.
No.
I'm hoping that I never go through anything like this again. Touch wood. I think the worst part of it was that cramp and I mean, anyone who's 99% of people have had cramp, but that where your calves tense and your thighs tense and you can't move them.
They
but you
become
have-
concrete, don't
Yeah,
they?
literally, they were nothing. They were just dangling bits of mush, basically. Not even mush, just like stone. And having to just keep kicking and kicking and kicking.
You lost your shoes, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I lost my bloody shoes. Kicked my shoes
Kicked
off.
too hard, your shoes fell off.
Kicked so hard, shoes came off.
Right.
Yeah, kicked so hard, my shoes came off. Which, you know, whatever, but...
So, Al, you made it to the shore first, didn't you? And
Yeah, so the woman was shouting, she's called Helen. Helen was shouting, you're nearly there, just a little further.
Really?
And I remember looking down and just seeing rocks, you know, because I couldn't kick anymore, and she tried to help me up. But because your muscles don't work, I couldn't stand. I was just crawling. And I remember as soon as I hit the beach, the stones, the first thing I saw was a little spaniel with a stick in his mouth,
Oh, God.
just wanting to play. Like, in this fun, Dad? Let's do it again. Like, he was so happy to see me, and I was just, oh man, I thought he was dead, you know. And my dog is like having a son. He's like, you know,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
equivalent. I don't want kids, but I love dogs, and that was my son that just died. In my head, my son had just died. And when I saw his little face with a stick in his mouth, like wanting to play, I was just like, oh my God. And I felt so much relief. But then straight away, it was like, James is still there, Dave is still there. What's going on? And I still had in my head that I needed to get to the camper van. And even though this woman was trying to help me, I just tried to stand up and my legs weren't working, so I fell over. And I crawled for a bit. I stood back up, ran 5 feet, fell over, And I just kept on trying to get to the camper van because that was in my head, that was my safe spot. That was my goal. I had to get there. And after a bit, I couldn't do any more, and I just fell on the beach. And it was Helen's daughter that came up, and she put a blanket around me.
Yeah.
And I remember I couldn't breathe. You're so cold, you can't breathe. And after a while, the police turned up, and James turned up.
Well, yeah, I saw you get out. Like I said, Davey had gone from my side, and I saw you get out and thought, right, I was out. So this is doable. Someone's got out. I still felt no closer, but obviously was. Thought, right, this is doable. We can do this. But then instantly thought of you, Davey, and was like, fuck, Davey's not here, so where do I go with this? What's point in me getting out if I've got to go to my mate's funeral? Like, that went through my head when I was that close. I just thought, and again, these Helen,
yeah,
she was screaming at me like, "Come on, you can make it." And again, I saw rocks, like you said, and it's such a relief. But
because it drops off fast as well. That's the thing. It's deep, and there's no real. It's not tapered in, is it?
No, it's like a ledge. It's just a steep ledge.
Standing up was such a strange feeling. Everything was dizzy. I felt elevated above myself. So I couldn't feel from the waist down. It was numb. So every step I felt jolting through my legs and my back and shoulders, and I was dizzy. And Helen's daughter were doing the same. She was helping me because she was guiding me towards you, Al, where you were on the beach. And she was like, follow me. And she was being really delicate with me. And I remember saying to her, it's taking too long. I just remember going past her and barging through branches and moving trees and clambering over a fallen tree at one point. And I fell off the other side. I just wanted to get to you, like back to my mate. And when I got to you, you looked at me. You look shit, man. You look fucking dreadful.
Don't know what you're on about. I always look good.
But first thing you said to me is, where's Davey? And I was like, I don't know.
Gnarly.
I didn't know.
Well, I was still at Waterboys.
So we'd been in there for 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
You were still in there.
I was in there for a bit longer, I think. Again, this is where like I've got black holes. I don't know. I have no idea. I remember, obviously kicking, but the point of getting rescued, there's a big gap where I don't remember anything at all, other than
me neither.
Just
me neither.
Kicking. I mean, I remember that, but I don't remember what was really like going through my head. I remember turning around a couple of times and being like, I'm still a good half a kilometre, from shore. I was still a long way out, I think, to be fair. I didn't seem to go anywhere. I was kicking, but every time it's like, I'm further away again. And it obviously starts playing on your mind that, well, I ain't going to get out if this is the case, because no matter what I'm doing, I'm not getting any closer to the edge. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess, like I said before, it's, that feeling of, well, I'm probably going to go down here.
Yeah, well, it was strange because we were with the police and the first paramedics. You had a first paramedic with you, did you? Or did we have the same one?
First responder, same guy.
He oxygened me.
Yeah, he brought us both a can of oxygen because it was weird because you're trying to be in fetal position is the warmest position you can be in naturally.
Right.
So you're curling up, but at the same time, your lungs don't expand.
No.
And you're very short of breath and everything's really hard work.
Did you have jolting legs, like shudders? Not like little cold shakes, but mine would lightning bolts through my legs. They're like, boom, kicking, and my hips were cramping like bugger.
I was having some fit, some epileptic fit going on. It wasn't shivering, it was just violently shaking. Yeah. It wasn't shivering.
I remember asking them where you were, and they said, he's out. And to me that meant nothing. I was like, you've got to get him out, he's rubbish and cold. I remember saying to him, he's rubbish and cold, he don't like the cold, we need to get him out. And they were saying you were out, but we couldn't see you. We didn't know where you were. And then I suddenly remember a flare being lit, a pink flare.
A big orange flare.
Was it orange?
Really?
I thought it was pink. Huge one. And then Yeah, like sort of like you said, I had black holes, I had gaps of stuff, and
No recollection.
I remember seeing the
Not really.
helicopter coming in. I heard it like.
I did not.
Really?
I remember, and I looked up. That was one point because when I had the blanket, I had a silver foil blanket over me, and they were trying to keep me covered
They're
inside
good
it
then.
to keep my heat in. I just remember taking it off, looking up, and just seeing this helicopter. And you see in the film Perfect Storm. It was like a scene from that. This helicopter came from the back of the valleys and it came over, headed straight towards the flare. And then the guy just abseiled down.
Did you see that, did you?
Yeah, and like you got winched out.
Yeah.
Basically, you just got winched out.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't see it.
It was like all spray of water coming up.
I didn't.
Yeah, I heard some girls go, "Oh my god, what a guy!"
Come on.
No, I didn't hear that.
No, honestly, I don't. I remember obviously being in the water, and then that was towards the really negative aspect of what my brain was telling me was happening. And all of a sudden, there was just a guy in front of me, and I remember saying to him, "I'm glad you're here," like that. That's all I said to him. I'm glad you're here. And then I don't know if at that point, honestly, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if I blacked out. You know, your brain's doing a lot of weird things. It's shutting down your organs at that point, isn't it? You know, I think I probably
For that long in the water, yeah.
40 minutes, 45 minutes.
45 minutes you were in for.
Yeah, it's a long
Least.
time in that water for 35, whatever. It's a long time.
Bloody
5
3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes were long enough, wasn't it?
Probably was, looking back. I remember this guy just being there. And then next thing I know, I was in the helicopter. Emotional, really, like overwhelmed with emotion. I remember he was saying to me, "Oh, you need to tuck up, you need to get your legs into your stomach." And my legs were I couldn't move them. I was like, I can't move them. No matter what I was doing. I remember I was in hospital and I was like, I can't move my legs. I couldn't, I guess that's probably what being paralysed feels like. Because I thought, well, my legs are fucked. I can't do anything. I couldn't even move them enough to get them into my stomach. And then again, like massive black hole until being in a hospital bed. And
well, that was the other thing.
People
We got
around me.
We
like,
got separated.
Just people everywhere, and I'm like, how am I here? Like, I don't. I wish I had a better story, if I'm honest. And over time, it might come back.
Jog your memory.
Yeah, but.
Well, our ambulance got sent to the wrong side of the lock, so we got bundled into the police cars, and the police were like, "We need to take these guys." The ambulance is still 25 minutes away. We can't do that, so we got into the police vehicles, and.
Well, I remember at first they told me you need to go in the lifeboat to go to hospital, and I remember saying to them, "I'm not going back in water. Fuck that. Just come out of it." And it was when they stood up to take me to it that I realised there was a helicopter and a boat there. I couldn't hear it. I never saw it.
Wow.
And again, still didn't know where you were.
Yeah.
And
But to be fair, I think I was probably feeling this. Yeah, whatever. I was feeling like the same sort of stuff that I didn't know you'd got out. Because I never saw you.
Well, I think we all got split.
We all got split.
Alex
Somehow,
went in one car.
In a very short.
I went in another, and you went in helicopter.
Half an hour before, we were all in a boat together. All of a sudden, you don't know where anyone is, and you're really, really cold.
Really cold. I remember in the police car on the way to get that down now. I remember in the police car when we finally set off on the way to the hospital. My finger, when you pinch your fingernails and they go white and then they return to red. Like none of that. It was just white. Like there was bugger all blood flow. So the paramedic, first response guy, was saying, "Rub your hands together because you need to get some flow coming back into your hands." I remember rubbing them under that blanket and not feeling a thing. And then after a while, I could just smell burning, like hot friction from my hands. They were just, I couldn't feel them, but they were just like, smouldering. It was weird. It was very surreal being in a police car like that because, you've got this oxygen mask on and a foil blanket. Alex is somewhere, you're somewhere else. Sirens on, flying through. On the way to hospital, and it's like, what the fuck's actually going on here? Is this really just happened? Like you say, half an hour or whatever ago, we were in a boat, just
Laughing.
and crossing a lock, and now I'm in the back of a police car, piss wet through, cold, trying to get on, and I've lost my mates. What the fuck's going on? And then
crazy times, man. Looking back, like
eventually pulling up to hospital and seeing your little face
So was I already
under that
there
blanket.
when you got
You were there
there?
first,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah,
because
yeah.
you helicoptered in, didn't you?
yeah.
Red carpet for you.
Again, I don't remember the journey at all. Like, I don't remember any of it. I don't remember. I wish, in some respects, no, I don't say I wish I did, but I do wish I could talk about it a little bit more and say, oh yeah, this happened. I just remember being in hospital. I remember being rolled out of one bed into another, so it must have been from the helicopter to the hospital bed, or outside the hospital, and then taken into hospital. And then I remember being in the hospital, and the shakes and the pain was incredible.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
you.
Hypothermia is fucking painful. I don't care what anyone says. That's painful. Like, literally just cramped up. You can't move anything, and your body's shaking. It's like having cramp and then being told to do like frog squats. It's literally, it's like your body's saying no, and it's going, yeah, we're gonna shake because we're trying to get you warm again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
really.
putting everyone opposite you.
Right.
That was the first time I saw you when finally laid in a bed. It's Davey's there.
Jeez.
It's like fuck for that, and you got your little face for poking out, wasn't it? 'Cause you had a towel over your head to keep you warm, and you had all them air tubes on you. That blanket thing, that was beautiful. That one.
Yeah, it was like a.
I don't know how you explain it.
It's like bubble wrap,
Yeah, it's
wasn't
like
it?
bubble wrap
Yeah,
filled
but
with warm air, a hair
warm
dryer.
air being blown. Yeah. Oh man, seeing your little face there, smile was pretty amazing.
But I'd still not seen you.
No,
Again,
Al was just chilling in reception, wasn't he?
Yeah, I assumed you got out, but like you guys said, you didn't know where I was, and I had no idea where you guys were.
It was a bit of a different story for me because when I got to the hospital, I was like, I've got my dog with me. Are dogs allowed in hospitals? And they're like, not really, but get him on a lead if you can. And I was like, I ain't got a lead. It's Loch Ness somewhere. So I took the dog in, and the nurses were overjoyed to see a dog in the hospital. They loved that.
Right.
And they basically checked me over. They took my temperature, made sure there was nothing wrong. And then I had about 2 minutes of seeing you. And then they came in and they said, okay, you're fine. You're discharged. You need to leave now with your dog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember you leaving in a hurry, and I didn't really know why.
They bundled me out, and then that was
you had all
it.
the same clothes on.
Yeah, I was still in wet clothes.
That's
I
gnarly.
had to wait outside.
I'd got stripped off, and I
don't
had
remember being stripped either.
barely out on.
I don't remember being stripped. My first memory is being in a hospital gown and thinking, how on earth am I here? I've got no clothes on.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember them taking anything
Does it
off
worry
me.
you that they will have seen your willy in the coldest state it's ever been?
I suppose it does, yeah. Probably the most
I think
traumatic
that ruined
thing
me.
from this is that a nurse has seen me,
All tucked
all
up.
shriveled up, yeah.
Trying its hardest to get inside.
Couldn't fill the ballpark pouch,
I'm not a shower. I'm a grower, honestly.
the lentil pouch.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh.
man, I mean, and then I'm trying to think what happened
was-
next.
it was
I
a
remember
weird-
seeing you and being like, obviously, extremely overjoyed that I seen you.
Yeah, me
And
too.
Al, although you looked, you just sort of strolled in with
Well, didn't he just? He sat next to me,
Alright.
and I was on hospital bed just chatting away.
Very casual.
Nurse came in to do some tests, and he's
I
like,
think
yeah.
it's a different experience though, isn't it? Like we've all like come away with something different. You didn't know where I was. That's traumatic. And
I think for me,
We've
once
all
I
had-
realised that everyone was alive, because I was convinced that we were all dead, that was it, there was nothing, that we were all dead. That once I learned we were all right and we were safe, that was it. Like, it's done, it's over, we're good, we're fine.
Yeah.
And I suppose I could have been in agony, I was still cold, whatever, but it don't matter because we were all okay. And that was the one thing that I was like happy about. I was like strolling about in hospital with a dog. Like,
I mean, I know, I felt like shit, to be honest, when we were in them hospital beds, because I'd swum out with a bag full of water.
Yeah, so tell
And
like
Yeah,
what
that's
the
a good
hell-
story.
It's a great story.
my bag that had some spare clothes in and other such items was bobbing about in the water when we fell in, and I thought, oh man, it floats. You can use it as a, lay on it a little bit and it'll help you swim and you can kick and it'll be fine. So I thought, great, this is brilliant. So I started swimming with my bag, big bag.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
big
40
bag,
litre
isn't it?
bag.
Yeah, it's a hefty bag.
Polaris.
The finest to find, big. It is waterproof. It is waterproof.
material.
Definitely waterproof material. Keep your kit dry. However, it's not a fully sealable dry bag. So water slowly started to leak into it as I was swimming with it, and I remember letting go of it in the water at one point, and it stayed bobbing next to me. So I thought, oh, it must still be flowing. It's good, this. Turns out, no, it probably weren't the best idea. We're full of water. So by the time I'd got to shore, and you must have just forgot about it and ditched it. When I finally got in the police car, the police told me off for dragging it out, saying, why did you do that? It took two of us to lift it up the beach. Obviously in the water it weighs less, so you don't notice as much, but it took two police to carry it up the beach and put it in the back of the car. I remember putting it in.
Kilo.
Yeah.
I remember putting it in the car and it was going boom and sitting back of it a little bit. It was proper heavy. But
You swam with it.
at the same time, once I was in the hospital looking across at you, I just felt awful for dragging that few items of clothing out and leaving my mate
No, you don't be silly. I
bobbing in
think
the water. Yeah,
The
that
amount-
hit me really hard.
Yeah.
That
The amount of guilt that was going through
massive
my head
guilt.
that
I should have
day as
swum
well.
back.
Yeah.
Should have swum back and helped him. Like, why did I rescue a pair of trousers and a?
the thing is, there was a point where we all decided swim for sure, and you look after yourself. That
I mean,
that's what you do. You look after yourself first.
We-
Really, you do, don't you? That's
Yeah,
I'm
but
not trying to be
if
selfish. That I'm
If
just
we
saying.
all clicked together, if we all like somehow tied ourselves together to make a little human raft kind of jobby, then we would have all made it back as one.
or
but
maybe not.
on hindsight, we could have made it worse. It
Could
could
have been
have.
harder.
It could have been
just
hard.
you don't
We
know.
could have put each other in danger by
Could have just been
grabbing
kicking
on
each
and
other.
holding on to each other. You don't know.
I couldn't have
Thankfully,
rescued anybody. Like no way. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't have though. If I was in whatever position, I couldn't swim. None of us could swim properly. Couldn't have I couldn't have swam with somebody else. Do you know what I mean? I'd
Yeah.
be moral support maybe, but probably not. To be honest with you, because I
Yeah.
just might just wait here.
No.
We're done. Let's enjoy it together. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I'd have been able to do anything. I don't think you need to feel bad or anything. You save yourself and then that's it. Isn't it?
yeah, I just don't know how I would have took being at your funeral. Because in my head, all the time going to hospital was, I've got to go to Davey's funeral.
Yeah.
And I've got to explain to his family and friends that I left him in the water. And for me, I know that's quite a selfish thing, but for me, that just crippled me instantly. And it's played on my mind since, until you said that you're getting better, because
Yeah.
you weren't very well from it, were you?
No,
Like,
I definitely weren't. I think that's been.
suffered a bit, but until you were better, I was gonna feel like shit. So
Yeah, which is silly to think that, but I appreciate that you think that in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's nice of you, but yeah, you have to look after yourself, and it's with any emergency situation, that's what the advice is, isn't it? It's like whether it's an aeroplane or whatever, you look after yourself, and then if you can, you save somebody else. And we all made that conscious decision to set off swimming, and that's it. It's no one's fault. I just suck at swimming. Not even that, it just that's what happened, didn't it? And dudes were all telling the story on a podcast, which is crazy, but we're so fucking lucky. One thing I was thinking about, right, is I don't know. I'm mixed up whether I was talking about it in the water or not. So, really early in the episode, we talked about when I had a bit of a mushroom experience where I felt like I was dying. And what's really struck me out a little bit is we spoke about this quite a lot while we were away.
yeah,
We spoke about death,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
That song.
We spoke about the song that I love now, which is, was playing when I went through this experience. We spoke about that album that I love, Mike Posner one, which is basically all about death. And I remember being in the water and thinking, well, so just backstory really quick without blabbering on too much about myself. I went through this bit of a mushroom experience / a little bit of marijuana at the same time. Let's be the technical term, psilocybin mushrooms for the podcast heads out there. And basically we were on a canal boat and I was in a really small bed and, felt like I was dying, but in a nice way. And I remember thinking, if this is dying, if this is what it's like, this is amazing. Because all my friends are here. I'm really relaxed. My body felt weightless. My brain was full of euphoria. And I was basically felt like I was reenacting. I was going through what death's like. So people are coming to visit you.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone would go and then the lights went out. And I was like, that's what it's like. Amazing. That was actually really nice. And I remember being in the water and thinking, well, I sort of came away from that experience on the canal boat thinking, I thought that was water, thinking, I'm not scared of dying. But then being in the water thinking, what an idiot. It's really scary.
Yeah.
Like that's not how it might go down. It might be like this, where you're full of panic and you can't move.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
one
waiting, yeah.
one experience, you're off your tits on mushrooms. The other, you're sober, drowning. I mean, it's
Yeah, for sure.
it's quite
For
different.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. It is. Did you think about your family and all that sort of stuff? Was
Yeah,
there
I
those
thought.
moments?
I thought everybody was going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
in me.
same.
I
I
felt
had that a
a
little
huge
bit.
sort of disappointment.
That it'd be like a bit of a laughing stock,
No.
As if they went
I
out
thought
like that.
Laura, my girlfriend, would be sort of angry and disappointed in me that I died.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of things. You think about your family, a lot of it, and some weird thoughts come into your head.
Yeah.
And I remember one of them was, I was a bit snappy with you because you were struggling to paddle and stuff like that for some of the journey.
Don't call me out on my own podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was shit at paddling. But to be
Yeah,
fair, I've never done it in my life, so.
But then when I saw you, I remember the first thing I said to you was like, I'm so sorry I was like snappy with you. Because one thing I learned was that if that was the end, then the last thoughts of you being with me were that I was just being a snappy dick to you. And I don't want to be a snappy dick. I don't want the last thoughts of somebody, to have of me was he was a snappy dick.
Yeah.
I don't really want that, and that's why I apologised straight away, because and it kind of gave me a bit of a message to just try and be a nicer person,
Really? Does that mean like a takeaway from the whole thing?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, because I mean, it's gonna happen. We're all gonna die, but when I do, I don't want people to think, "Well, I'm bloody good. Glad he's gone."
I think that's what we've all sort of learned, how quick life can actually
be taken away from you.
Who'd have thought we'd ever be sat having this conversation about
the things we've done in past?
Yeah,
and
I mean, I love a deep conversation. It's part of what I do with this thing. On some level, sometimes it gets quite deep, whether it's about anxiety or about depression or whatever. And I love that there's a platform and that people will hopefully be listening to this and they'll have learned something. But I never expected to be sat here with two of my best friends talking about the day that we nearly died. It's just an absolute trip still. It really is. And one of my main takeaways was, I remember the run up, the day to going away, the Thursday, wasn't it? I just had a really stressful day. I did an episode with Joe that needed changing. I did about, what usually would take me 24 hours in about 3. And I was full of, I remember getting to the boat with, even before we left, I was an anxious mess. I was ringing you. I'm like, where are you going?
Yeah,
couldn't get hold of you. I didn't, I was just, and that's something that I think I've been kind of mindful of, with anxiety and stuff like that, of trying to curb it and trying to be better and trying to, not let stuff like that get to you. But this has been that shake up that I probably really needed to be like, no, like you need to draw a line in the sand. You need to be more chilled out.
Yeah.
You need to not, you know what I mean? Not get into those sort of states. And I am a firm believer that things happen to you, things happen for you, not to you. And I think this experience probably is one of those that happened for me, not to me. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just put things into perspective. And like we were saying, like last week, I was pretty much toast all week. Mentally, physically, I was done. But in some weird way, I really enjoyed it because I just had an actual mental clarity for a bit. So usually my brain's like a gazillion things are going on at the same time. Like I'm thinking of this project or this marketing thing and this brand and this sale. And last week is how I want my brain to be, which was just happy. Do you know what I mean?
Mate.
I was just spending time with my girlfriend last week,
Yeah.
just being me, and it was really nice. And I think that the experience has shown me that I need to get back to that,
Definitely.
not this sort of, always not. I think I'd like to think that I'm a decent person, but I could give Emma more time. I could give my family that little bit more time, rather than focusing on giving that time to my business or customers. Do you know what I mean? So I think, again, I'm a firm believer in things happen for you, not to you. And I'm trying to take away a lot of positives from this. And one of those main things has been, how many amazing people I've got around me, like you two and Emma and my dad and my mum, all those people that are there for you, that have worried sick, that have, gone out of the way over the last week to sort of make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
People that have actually called and said, I've heard, because we've,
I've kept it quiet.
We've kept it quiet, haven't we?
Really,
In a way,
I've not
we
really
have.
told a lot.
We have kept it quiet. I didn't want this to be like and the same with the podcast. Like, I don't want this to be a sort of, oh, look what we did. This is cool. Like, it's a story, hopefully, for people to learn something. They might take something away from this, but I didn't want people to go, oh, I didn't want no sympathy.
It's not an attention seeking.
No, it's not an attention seeking thing at all.
It's a genuine event.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
shaped 3 lives for sure,
Yeah.
and more because there's the expanse.
I'm similar. I suffered with depression pretty bad last year before, and at that point I was thinking a lot of weird things like what's the actual point in living? Like, and at some point you're gonna die anyway. So why do we do all this crap just to pass away? What's the point? And then thankfully, I like to think I got out of that, which a lot of help from my girlfriend, Sophie. She was pretty amazing with that. And then this experience, the first day after it, I thought, I'm just going to head back into that like depressive state. But actually, it's turned things around a bit, and I think the same. Like, life is way too short. You've got to be happy.
Yeah.
And there's no reason not to be happy.
No, there's not.
There's a lot of things you can put in place to help your life be happy.
Yeah.
But a lot of things, like, I don't believe in luck. I don't think luck exists. I think you make a choice, you make a decision, and whatever happens, happens. Like, getting out the water, we swam.
Yeah.
That weren't luck, we swam. You got picked up, it weren't lucky, someone called them. They weren't just floating by. Things happen, I don't believe in luck.
Right.
So, do things that are going to make you happy. Get things like your dog. Oh, he makes you happy, doesn't he? He's like you say, he's your son. He's your best mate.
Yeah.
My dog, he's my best mate. I love him to bits. I go home and see his face and he just makes me smile. So you've got to be happy in this life because we aren't here forever.
No. Imagine, I don't know if that's too deep, if last Sunday was the end, would you have any like major regrets?
Jesus. Well, I wouldn't really know because I'd be gone, wouldn't
I? No, let's say you could look back and be like...
I don't think I've got any regrets.
No.
But I have walked away from it thinking, holy shit, I want to start doing more stuff. I mean, I'm a pretty active guy anyway.
Yeah, I think
but
we all are to an extent. We're not sat around, anyway.
But I got home, bought a tent straight away. A tent hangs from trees, like a tree tent. I want to go back up to Scotland to pick up the boat because the boat's still up in Scotland. Going to pick it up this weekend and go camping again. And it's a bank holiday weekend. I mean, sometimes, yeah, it's nice. You've got to kick back and relax and enjoy yourself.
Of course.
But then other times, just fucking get out there. Because I know everyone says this, you could die at any moment, but it really is true.
Yes,
It can be over. And
It is.
It kind of takes something like that to make you realise how easy. We were half an hour prior to it, we were there drinking coffee, laughing at tourists, taking photos and selfies, and that was it.
Yeah.
We were.
You never even think it, do you?
You never
Boom.
even think it.
I mean, that's one of the things that's changed for me. Like you say, is taking selfies. Is social media.
Yeah.
I have no need for social media anymore. What's the point in it? To me, it's a useful tool in the right area.
Yeah, totally.
However, you're just watching other people do things instead of doing them yourself.
For sure.
Yeah,
Now-
living your life through other people's.
Yes.
What was really
yes.
interesting, and I agree with you totally. It's got its place. And
It
I think
does,
Coming
it
out of the back of
definitely
this, there was two things that really stood out for me. Number one, as you know, I was sort of documenting the trip through the Hook It podcast, Instagram,
Yes.
and as soon as that went quiet, I didn't check it for like 3 days. I think
Yeah.
there was a lot of messages of people.
Yeah.
Where are you? Are you okay? And these are people that I don't even know that that have listened to this or this. 99.9% of those people I didn't know, and there's probably like 50 messages, and that's why I had to do a post to say, look, this is where I am. This is what's been, not what this is what's been going on, but I'm sorry for it's been quiet. But yeah, totally agree with you. Getting wrapped up in, have you posted this at this time? Is this done? Am I taking enough photos for it?
Mm-hmm.
Is a total waste of fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a total waste of time. But then it does have its positives, Again, coming out the back of this, Emma spoke to Helen, who saved our life.
Yeah.
She saved our life, flat out. Like, she made a phone call which saved our life.
Yep.
She was the only person that saw us.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
her and her family.
I would say even if we'd got to the shore and got up to the road, you had to wait for a car to come by to call someone, and then that's still
And that's if they're going to stop,
Yeah, some bedraggled
Someone probably,
lads on the road.
he's going to rape me.
Yeah, it could quite easily.
so that is
Yeah,
a good thing.
definitely.
And then also,
no, it is, of course.
Emma managed to find the guy who came down out of the helicopter and picked me out.
Oh,
through,
really?
Through Facebook, yeah. So I've got a way now to say thank you to that guy. So that's a positive. But there's for those 2 or 3 positives, there's a hell of a lot more negatives,
On a personal level,
Yeah,
I
on
think
a
there is.
yeah.
But like you're saying, in the right
It's got its-
circumstances, it does
And
have
that's,
its place.
same
for
as you,
sure.
that's been one of my things, is I need to not get home and work on social media all night, because who cares? In the grand
Yeah,
scheme of things,
who
it's
does?
not going to benefit you. It might do financially through your business, whatever, but it probably won't benefit you. And getting wrapped up in that stuff is terrible.
And from the non-business side, the personal side, I'd much rather sit here and talk to you guys.
How
like
nice is this? Doing a
than-
podcast like this, like
than through
no
a
phones, we just
fucking
sat chilling.
messaging
Yeah.
on your photo, whatever,
Yeah.
like whatever. I know we WhatsApp quite a lot and talk quite a bit on that, but
I think for the 3 of us, we're all not that into that stuff anyway. I think there's people out there that will be glued to the phone 24 hours a day that don't go outside.
People have withdrawals, don't
Yeah,
they?
people
what
do
the
have
fuck
withdrawals.
is that about?
But again, I had
it's
this
fucking phone, man.
weird mental clarity last week because I wasn't wrapped up in any of that stuff. I wasn't thinking about that needs to go out at 9 o'clock, that goes out at 8, I need to edit this, there was none of that.
Yeah.
And I, for sure, one of the biggest takeaways is just spending more time with people like this, sat chatting, and like with your family and stuff like that, because you don't know, you've no idea how quick it just stops, and you don't want to go down in the dirt thinking I wish I'd seen that person again, or I wish I'd given that person more attention. And that's one of the things I think people get caught up in, that messaging people, or through social media or
likes,
text even,
chasing
and chasing likes.
Oh
I mean,
my
what a
God.
crock of shit that is.
They're not friends.
Sam Harris said.
It's
Sam
because they're
Harris,
liking, don't mean they're your mates.
Sam Harris, the sort of philosophy sort of guy, said Facebook now is like a publishing tool, and that's what it should be.
Is.
It's a publishing tool. Publish what you're up to, but don't chase around looking at what other people are doing and thinking, oh, I should be out doing that and I should be doing this. Or social media is a trip because it does have its positives used in the right way, like you said, but you know, it also has its negatives as well.
Which I'm sure we could use it to our advantage with something anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but that's something else, isn't it?
Yeah. Anything else, really?
I'd like to kind of put a message across, actually, that when I organised this trip, I thought I was pretty organised, and I thought we had a good plan of what we were going to do and what we needed and everything like that. But actually, when it came to it, we were blind, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that I've learned is you can't go into something over prepared, because if we got that somebody's attention, if we had a flare, I mean, you might think, you don't need flares, you're going on a canoe trip, who needs flares? Those would have, helped.
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know?
Fly in the middle of the water, it's like...
You could have done
Not
100
really,
more
is it?
things to sort of prepare yourself, and it was like in the morning when we set off, we said goodbye to Matt. Next time we'd see him is when we arrived at our destination. He didn't know any part of where we were on that water. You know, he had no idea where we were. Nobody knew where we were.
It's crazy that he saw the helicopter, saw a missed call off you.
Yeah, and put them
And
together.
got in
And
touch.
he knew, but just if you're going to do something, just take a bit more time, think about it, and get the things that you need that
They're going to help
that you might not need.
Yeah.
Hopefully you won't need.
Yeah.
But if they're there, if you need them, they're there.
Definitely. If it
So
goes wrong,
yeah,
It's funny because I was talking to Darren today, like I told you. So Darren from Saks basically does a lot of adventures. He sort of studied something like that at university, sort of planning adventures, and he planned to do the Caledonian Canal. He didn't end up doing it. Something got in the way. But he's meticulously, and I'm not saying you didn't, went over it and practiced canoeing and had all this kit ready to do it. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, like you guys have gone into that, in a way it's kind of cool. You just, whatever, just give it a shot.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But, not having a thing to ladle water out. It's just, like,
loads of stuff.
loads of stuff in hindsight
Loads,
that we should have had that we didn't. But it's hindsight, innit? It's all, and in testament to you, man, you did all of it. You did all the organisation. You did the canoe. You did everything. We met for a beer, looked at an itinerary and went, cool, see you Thursday.
Yeah, we did.
No, planning, I'm 100% responsible for the way I ended up because I should have been better prepared. I
too.
had a fucking pair of trainers on, man. If I had waterproof shoes like you, my feet wouldn't have got that cold, I didn't even have socks on when I went in the water. Oh no, I did. No, it's the
I
day
don't think
before.
it matters because socks aren't insulating when they're wet anyway, are they?
Even my trousers were terrible. They're better than what I would have worn if I didn't spend 12 quid in Decathlon.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But any adventure that you're going on, whether you're climbing a mountain, whether you're going for a walk in the park, whatever you're doing, just be prepared for it. I think is a good message.
And there'll be a lot of mountain bikers listening to this that do go on big adventures that will get caught short. Like I spoke to our mate Tim, right, our mutual friend, and he had something semi-similar where he got stuck on a trail, ended up getting really cold, was stuck in the middle of nowhere for 2 hours on his own, not knowing if anyone could find him. You never know, you just don't. You go on a mountain bike ride in the Peak District, you could be in a world of shit.
I never tell anyone where I'm going.
No, you could be in a world of shit.
Never tell
one
them my
crash
route. Yeah.
in a world of shit.
Stick coming out of a tree could catch in the shoulder or even the neck.
Yeah.
And
You nearly had that, dude. That's
mate, I did.
gnarly.
And like you say, no one knows where you are.
It's a bit more.
They don't know how long you're going to be out for.
That's the thing, yeah.
It doesn't take much just to let someone know your basic route and how long you think you'll be. For one, like you say, Matt, no idea where we were. We were setting off from here and we were ending up here.
It's been a journey.
It doesn't take much.
It's been a learning experience.
I think it'd be also nice, not that they'll be probably listening, but everybody that was involved, from Helen to the police to the people in the helicopter to the hospital staff to the people on the boats, everyone involved, they were all heroes that day, and it'd be nice to thank them.
Yeah,
thank you.
They'll all make sure they listen. I got those guys on Facebook. There's a Facebook group for the helicopter. There's one for the lifeboat on Loch Ness, so we can share it in there, I think.
Yeah. See, that's a useful use of it, because again it highlights what can go wrong.
Yeah.
So people can see, and like Al says, hopefully be able to prepare a bit better for if something does go seriously wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
definitely useful.
We're also going to plan to raise some money, aren't we, for the... Is it the RNLI? Or is it...
I think both.
in the helicopter?
Yeah.
'Cause that's separate, isn't it? Because that's a
Yeah,
charity
so-
helicopter.
Hopefully, yeah.
The helicopter, which that's the second run-in I've had with the ambulance this year, because when I was driving, a guy on a motorbike drove into the side of my van, and he had to get airlifted out. Now, I didn't know that that's not part of the NHS. That is a charity on its own. So that is only running because people donate, and
It's very important. It gets used a lot in mountain biking as well.
yeah. So
Yeah,
if you're going to donate to something, don't donate to the cat charity, you know. Jesus.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
Go
going to
on.
make some money there, aren't we, for him somehow? So there's a couple
Yeah.
of different
Yeah.
things which people who are listening will see. So we are going to run a marathon. That's on our list.
Bear in mind, I'm terrible at running, my knees hurt, so doing a marathon distance will be difficult. Al, you've come off the back of a slip disc.
Yeah,
Back,
I've not been able to run properly since I slipped a disc, so it's gonna be hard work for me as well. And I think a marathon's hard work for anyone, isn't it? Let's face it.
So it's not going to be easy regardless, is it? So
No.
hopefully we can draw some attention and
We're going to do something. I've got a few plans. So we're going to do like I'll call it out now. I'm going to do like a collaboration Saks underwear. All the profits, we'll give it to the lifeboat or
Beautiful.
the helicopter. Could do like there's a few things I've got.
we'll
I've got
try
a
and
few
raise
plans.
some big money for this.
Try and
like,
raise some money for
it's-
him, especially the marathon, because that's on our list of 30 things to do before we turn 31. So we're going to aim to do that towards the end of the year, aren't we? And raise some money for him. Cool. Happy?
So yeah, we got
Feel better? Like I feel like it's been nice just to sit and chat. to
It's
be
the
honest.
first
Whether
time-
this is there or not. Like
I
thought I'd be crying my eyes out at some point.
feel a lot calmer when I spoke to you when you said your results were.
Oh
The
yeah,
blood
I didn't
results.
even talk about that. So that's
Better.
just quickly. So when I left hospital, my PK level, it should be around 0.2. I think it should be was 7,500.
Yeah.
7,500. I was then discharged from hospital on the understanding that I went straight back to the doctor when I got home.
It's to do with breakdown of muscle, isn't it?
Breakdown
It's
of muscle,
breaking
yeah. So
muscles
basically,
down
my
in the
kidneys
body.
have been struggling as well
With
because
the
I've got
protein
protein, yeah.
levels,
So
yeah.
when again, I don't think I even said. So I had hypothermia for a bit. So your organs started shutting down. So my kidneys were struggling, even off just the mild hypothermia I had, because I've got a liver condition. It did something to that, and everything was basically just in a descent.
Out of whack.
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
it?
thrown out of whack for a minute, but yeah, so my blood levels are now back, hence why I've been off work, hence why I've not replied to anyone on social media, so yeah, again, I'm getting back up to scratch with that now, so
Yeah, I thought this would go a lot deeper, to be honest, but you being alright, it's eased my mind, and I'm
Good.
quite reasonably happy to talk about it.
yeah, this is, like I
Now.
said, this is the first time, and I wanted it to be us three, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just did, like, it's fresh, it's nice just to sit and chat about things, and basically as well to know that you guys are both okay. I mean, that's
Yeah.
top and bottom of it for me, but
It's
I've
the
definitely
first-
struggled to talk about it, like really
Yeah.
have. As soon as everyone brought it up, I'd get teary, and I don't know if I still will with other people yet, because it's a big thing, and that's trying to not. My personality just feels like, oh, just carry on. Whereas
Yeah.
it's like, no, this is actually what trauma. Hate that word. Trauma will feel like.
Yeah.
You're numb for, I was numb all week. I didn't feel anything. I was just like, apart from mental clarity, didn't really feel anything. There was nothing going on in my brain. It was just like,
Yeah.
there was nothing happening.
I went back to work next day and the lads
That's
asked how my
crazy,
trip
man.
was, and I said, "Great good until we fell in Loch Ness," and a load of them laughed, and I was like, "What are you laughing at? We nearly fucking died." But to them, how I said it was, "Oh yeah, we fell in Loch Ness."
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell them in full detail what had happened, but if I don't tell them, how are they gonna know? And then like
That's it. Is that you're playing that battle, and me and Emma talked about it loads about like how do you tell people, like, because you don't want to be like, oh, look what happened to me.
I'm not going to bring it up.
No, it's like the same. I'm not going to bring it up. If someone asks, then great, and it's weird. The word gets around a little bit. I had a few customers message me and stuff.
Yeah.
Asking if I was okay, which is really nice, but. For the most part, I sort of kept it all to myself
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
because it's
That's
a
speaking.
personal experience.
Yeah, it is. Apart from speaking to yourself and Al.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it is. It's not something. I know we're doing this, obviously. It's going to go out, but mainly is to raise
Tens of
awareness.
thousands of people.
Our main focus is to raise a bit of awareness and hopefully raise some money for a good cause, not to draw attention to ourselves. That's the thing. I've not walked up to people and gone, "Hey, guess what I did at the weekend? Fell into Loch Ness. Like, show me some sympathy." That's not.
No.
That's not what it were. But yeah, you're right. How when someone asks how your weekend went?
It's tough, isn't it?
How was the trip? Well.
Oh, I forgot to say actually. So one of the worst aspects actually was when the hospital called my dad.
Oh yeah.
All my family. Did I tell you this? All my family were together. So literally, like all that side of my family, which is massive. I've got aunties, uncles, cousins. So my dad just answers his phone in the middle of this barbecue to someone telling him that your son's been airlifted into hospital. We're going to update you in 15 minutes how he's doing. Not put the phone down on him, but we're pretty short. So that threw a big spanner in his weekend as well.
Jesus,
You know,
as a dad hearing that about your son.
Fucking hell, man, I can't even imagine. Anyway, let's wrap this bitch up. It's been a good 2 hours, 15 minutes, so thanks, dudes. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for
It's
all-
been nice.
Yeah,
It
it's
has
nice.
actually,
Yes.
yeah.
Whether this was recorded or not, it's been rad just to sit and chat on it. So
Yeah.
So who's
Alright.
to the next adventure?
yeah, keep an eye out. Show description. I'll put links to people can check out the RNLI and the helicopter, and then we'll start posting links how people can donate ASAP.
Yes.
But it might be there already if I can do it in time. It might be there already. So yeah, I'll post anyway. The social media side of this is pretty active, so I'll let people know. All right, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, Davey.
Yeah,
Thank
it's been
you.
good life.
Thank you.
Right.